some good time. Here's the water one last time, guys. Tune in right now.
Yeah. Welcome out. Good morning, everybody. We are live and in action from the 58th Nautique Masters. Your boy, the Noise, the North, Dan the Mano, along with the one and only mouth of the Southwest Texas, the one and only Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hanging out here. We got an amazing morning set up for all y'all. And joining us right now up here in the announcers area, we've got Pam Bauer, Director of Marketing and Development here at Callaway Gardens. Let me get off this Facebook Live video real fast, finish that up. Good morning, Pam.
Hey, good morning.
Let's get you turned on right there. Mic 3. Here you go. I'll let you hold on to the gold mic here.
Oh, Dan's gold mic.
And I'm gonna steal Tyler's brand new microphone right over here. So, good morning here. We've got some really cool stuff happening this weekend. All kinds of fun, funky, fresh new stuff happening. I've been coming here for, I think this is like my 15th straight year in a row coming out to Callaway Gardens, and I have noticed a lot of changes around here. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on?
It'd be my pleasure. I think everyone who's coming this year is going to notice some changes. Most remarkably, the amazing lake view from our new lodge and spa from last year. That is a huge update.
Yeah, I noticed that. So, now, are we talking about the main hotel over here, or?
Yeah, so for all of these years, I know Mountain Creek Inn has been such a tradition for the Masters and all of our guests, but we are so proud to now have the lodge and spa right here on Robin Lake Beach. And so this is the first weekend of the Masters where guests will be able to see it, view it, enjoy it.
Wow. Well, really excited about that. Now, of course, we're back here Memorial Day weekend. It is a tradition. And every year you guys have the weekend stacked with all kinds of events, of course, on the water and off the water. So what can we expect to see this weekend?
We have an action-packed, as you know, starting today, this afternoon. We've got activities across the beach kicking off. We are welcoming back every year on Fridays our Movies on the Beach. Everyone loves that. And we're going to be watching Finding Dory tonight. So when dusk kicks off, the movies kick off. But if you grab your agenda, you can see it's action-packed every day. Everything from Aqua Island to jump houses, everything's happening all around the beach here in the Masters Village and across the way.
All right, so that's some exciting stuff that's happening right here on site. Now, last year, I had my opportunity after the Masters were over to get around the gardens, and, you know, I've always talked about on the microphone, but last year, Rachel had set me and my girlfriend up, and we had the opportunity to go on a treetop adventure with the crew from SeaDeck Marine Products, and that was probably one of my most fun experiences ever. So tell us a little bit about some of the other stuff that maybe isn't right in front of the crowd here at Callaway Gardens, stuff that you can get done.
Absolutely, you have to do treetop. It is a must see adventure. Did you go across the lake course?
Absolutely.
You were scared? You were
yeah.
scared? Okay.
Oh, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous of heights, but the crew out there made me feel very comfortable at home and is, of course, safe.
Excellent. Well, treetop is just one of the many adventures within the gardens. We're sitting on 2,500 acres, chock full of activity for families, for couples. Bring your girlfriend and come back. I mean, if you can only see the beach during the weekend, you're missing a majority of all that Callaway Gardens offers. So between treetop, our newly paved 7 miles of bicycle trails, we rent bicycles if you can't bring your own. We have our Birds of Prey show that happens daily. And of course, the kids and kids at heart love the Day Butterfly Center. Thousands of butterflies floating in the Tropical Conservatory. It is an amazing sight.
All right, so Pam, when it's all said and done, what is your favorite part of the gardens?
Oh, so much pressure. Well, I happen to be fortunate to live here within Callaway, across the other lake behind us, and it is waking up to these beautiful sunsets and watching this sunrises and sunsets here on one of our 13 lakes. So I'm pretty fortunate.
Absolutely amazing. All right, well, we're going to get some action on the water here momentarily. Before we do that, Pam, if anybody watching us live on webcast or here on site is interested in finding out more about the gardens or the activities, where do they have to go to find out that information?
Hey, that's easy. It's just CallawayGardens.com. Check it out. We've got a page dedicated to summer, CallawayGardens.com/summer.
All right, so there it is, guys. You heard that web address right there. I'm sure you guys can check that out on the website, masterswaterski.com. We've got the great webcast happening. Pam, I know you're going to be a busy lady here this weekend, so I'm going to let you get going, but thanks a ton for hanging out with us this morning.
Thanks for letting me kick it off. Welcome. We're looking forward to a great weekend.
Awesome. Thanks a ton. Pam Bauer, everybody. Yeah. Well, good morning to you, Tyler, man.
What's going on, Dano?
Man, I'm feeling it. We are, it is barely 8 in the morning. We are kicking the grandstands are starting to fill up. The beach is starting to fill up. We got a full day of action, starting off with our junior women's trick and junior men's trick semifinal rounds, followed up by finals. From there, we are going to go into the junior women, junior men's slalom semifinals, followed up by their finals. The junior women and men jump semifinal and final round. We cap off our day with the junior professional men of wakeboard action out here in Robin Lake. And dude, I don't know, when I pulled up this morning, what a view. You hear about the prestige year after year. You know, the magic here at Callaway Gardens and Robin Lake, of course. And this morning we saw it, and you can see it as that Nautique 200 cuts through the butter out here on the waters. The smoke is on the water, my friend.
No question about it. I got out of bed, rolled out, took the drive in the car, had to slow down, Dano. As I came around the bend here at Callaway, you could just see that steam rising off the water. I said, this is going to be a great day. Nice, crisp, clean. The skies are blue. There is no wind, absolutely no wind or texture on the water. Dano, this could be one of the most competitive events we've ever seen. And this is the 25th, so a real landmark here for these juniors, the 25th Junior Masters here this Friday.
Well, and obviously these youngsters, these junior skiers have worked so hard over the last 365 days, earning their spots in what's arguably the toughest contest to earn a spot in. But I think some of the biggest news of the year so far is that Nautique 200, once again, what is it, already 4 world records this year?
It's unbelievable. I mean, across the board, slalom, trick, and jump, and, even to get into the wakeboard with the G23, I mean, it is the gold standard, and we're going to see it in action all weekend long as that simulation pass is complete, Dano, and I think we're going to move right in to these junior women here this morning.
All right, well, we're excited about that, guys, and looking forward to watching the action on the water there. So much stuff going on all weekend long. We've got tons of stuff to talk about, tons of great sponsors here on site and just supporting the event in general. We're going to get to all of that here in just a few moments, but first things first, we're going to get on the water with our first trick ski athlete. The one thing that I've noticed about these junior skiers, man, is they don't make it easy in the name department.
Well, it's a very global list here. I mean, from around the world. I mean, we have representations from all corners of the earth here, Dano, and that's what makes it so difficult to qualify. And I will tell you, this morning, when I take a look at the list, it's going to be extremely competitive. We're going to have 6 people here in the junior women's trick semifinal and 7 in the junior men's trick semifinal. Anything from flips to ski lines. We'll see it all here this morning, and these are the next generation of athletes that will compete here on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right, no doubt about that. We're going to get our first skier on the water representing the junior women's trick division out of Lima, Peru. This is Alejandra de Osma.
I came to dance.
I was checking out social media yesterday, and on that Nautique 200, I don't know if you've had the opportunity to look, Dano, but it has that red interior. I mean, smooth, clean, and crisp. Now, here in the trick event, ladies and gentlemen, these trick skiers will get 2 20-second passes. Generally, these trick skiers will go with a toe run where they're going to put their foot up into the handle and negotiate their way through 20 seconds. They need to clear all of their tricks off the top of the wake. There is a wake trick and there is a surface trick. Generally, the wake tricks allotted more points. You cannot repeat a trick, so it's how many unique tricks you can get in 20 seconds. We'll calculate them up and take the 2 scores.
So a lot more traditional than wakeboarding, not subjectively judged here. It's based on what these athletes on the water do. You are looking at an overall slalom trick and jump Latin American junior champion, a junior masters champion in both slalom and jump. And let's see what we can get right here, right now. Alejandra coming through. Tyler, take it away.
Yeah, it starts with a back out of course, a couple wake back-to-backs there into the wake 5 front. That's 310 points. Now going for the reverse, another 310. Now outside the wake for the flips. There's back roll and just going down on the bottom of the wake. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Alejandra on her first pass. She's going to be coming back on pass number 2. Now, Dano, pass number 2, we're going to see that toe hold trick where she's going to put her foot up into the handle most likely and make her way down Robin Lake. But you know, the competition's already heating up, and it's heating up here in the announcer's booth as well.
Yeah, it is. It was a chilly one this morning when I walked out of that cabin, but definitely a little bit warmer right here. Alejandra going down on that back roll on the trick ski right there. A little bit halfway through her pass, she had a nice series of back-to-backs off the wake, right behind that Nautique 200. Right into that back roll. Unfortunately, undercooking it just a little bit going down. Not the easiest of the rolls, I'll tell you that much. But you're going to notice she's going to hop back up onto the Nautique 200 right there. We're going to take her down, let those water conditions settle down. Now, Tyler, you can break it down a little bit. I don't know if you can actually see it with the camera work out there, but a majority of these skiers, I think almost 100% of them, are going to change water skis, trick skis, in between runs. So they're going to use one ski for their hand pass and another ski for their foot pass. And I know as a pretty well-decorated amateur yourself in the world of traditional water skiing, you pretty much have a little bit of a better idea of why they switch skis. For me personally, I'm a trick skier. I use the same ski for everything.
You're absolutely right, Dano. And there's no requirement to change skis, but sometimes they're different lengths. Sometimes they have a different edge. Some trick skis are made with a rubber edge. Some have a hard edge, really basically to drive down into the bottom of the wake, get a nice progression for flips. So it's all about preference right there. And it's so nice for a trick skier to know, okay, well, you know, I like this for the handle run, but I would like to jump on my toe run, maybe have a smaller ski, maybe a little wider with some more surface area. It's all about preference, and we'll see that all weekend long, Dano. And, you know, this is my 8th year to be up here, and I think we have made our way into the sport of tricks where pretty much everybody is on 2 skis going for a hand run and 2 of the toe run.
No doubt about it, man. It'd be fun to see them on 2 skis in the same run.
If you take me literally, we would have some flashbacks. You know, the 58th Masters, the Masters has seen that action before.
Well, absolutely, man. It's just so impressive year after year to watch how the sport grows and to see how far these skiers in every division have come. And, you know, at the end of the day, you owe a lot of that to that strong, consistent pull of the Nautique 200, the official towboat, of course, of this 58th Masters, and pretty much the towboat of choice of any premier water ski athlete out there today. We're going to bring them back through. Alejandra getting set for pass number 2. The young lady out of Peru took a win in the jump division at the Junior Masters down under, Junior Moomba Masters down under in Australia this past March. Well, let's see what she can do for pass 2. She's up in that toe hold to get super duper technical. Tyler Boyd, I'm going to let you do your thing.
All right, here we go. So we're in the tow harness, wrapped all up in that rope, and we're going to spin out into what looks like a toe 5 back, into some surface back-to-backs. Now a toe 5 front into a toe O into the reverse direction. Now she's going to hang on to that rope, use that wake for a toe wake O. Now a toe step back, beautifully performed to the front position, back, toe wake back-to-back. Can she get the toe step, it looks like, Dano? I'll have to go back to the review, but I thought she was going to go for a reverse toe wake back-to-back, but she may have gotten that rope down. So a beautiful pass number 2.
Well, no doubt, Alejandra looking pretty solid out there, pretty strong. You got to hand it to her pin puller right there, having the confidence in Alejandra. And, you know, it's almost, as much as water skiing is, you know, your personal thing out there, trick skiing, especially in the way it's done here at the Masters, it's a 2-person game, and I think we just saw some excellence in that. Ladies and gentlemen, back to shore. Give her some more Alejandra de Osma.
I I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me some space for both my hands, 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 hands.
All right, so we're going to do our best to get the live scoring going, keep you guys up to date with live scoring all throughout the morning here in this trick ski division. Here at the 58th Masters, the 25th Junior Masters out here. Here in the trick ski division, we've got 6 ladies battling it out for the top spots. Into later on's final round of action, we're going to run both the junior women and the junior men, followed up by their finals. After that, a little bit of a course change. We move into the slalom division, jump, wakeboard. We got a little bit of it all, and that's one of the things traditionally I love about the Masters. I'm a guy who doesn't like to just go on the lake and just water ski or just wakeboard or just wake surf or just wake foil. I like to add them all up, do them all at the same time. And that's what's so cool about the Masters, year after year, bringing out the best in all of these different aspects. And tomorrow in the pro divisions, we're even going to see some wake skating out there as well.
I can't wait, Dano, and make sure to tune in all weekend long because we're going to have the semifinal of the pro and then the finals on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, now on the water, Taylor Grathwall.
Mr. T, them rings on. Say my phone name, ho. Yeah, them diamonds so cool. Yeah, that old school mind fool. Never heard about you.
So Taylor Grathwall on the water right now, coming to us out of San Antonio, Texas. Kind of like your backyard. I was just down there last week.
That's right, fellow Texan right there taken to the water, and you know, looks like she's been training behind that Nautique 200, so she should feel right at home here on Robin Lake this morning.
Absolutely. Spends a little bit of time out there with Trent Finlinson at that San Marcos River Ranch. I was just out there last week, and I will tell you what, not the most amazing week for practice before the Masters. It was very windy. Conditions down in Texas, I don't know if it's been like that. I was down there for about a week, and every day the wind was howling. So I don't know how it's been for you up where you're at, Tyler, but hopefully we're going to see some great performances here from the 17-year-old out of San Antonio. Let's check it out.
All right, Dano, so coming in on pass number 1, here we go with Taylor, and she's going to wrap up for that toe pass. As you can see, the skier wraps outside the wake. A little bit easier to get set and ready, and then they make their way right behind the boat, and here we go. It looks like the toe 7 front to front spins out into toe 5 back, holds that edge for toe wake back to back. Now the reverse. Surface back to backs to go into toe 5 front and hanging on, and going down right there. And it looks like the pin person was waiting to the last moment, but unfortunately going down. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Taylor Grathwall.
Sit on my ball, man, zipper.
Now, Dano, that's where the coach, the pin person's in the boat, giving every opportunity just to hang on to the very last moment, but looks like everybody's safe there. But that is so important when you're in that tow harness, because if you don't have that pin person in the boat, it's going to just carry you on down the lake.
Well, we talked about it with Alejandra, our last skier right there, and how the confidence that we saw in both skier and pin puller. And honestly, on a lot of occasions, it's going to come down to just that. The fact of the matter is, this pin puller has obviously watched this skier on so many occasions out there. And, trick skiing, I would have to say, is the second hardest aspect in the world of towed water sports to learn, with wake skating being the number 1 most difficult to learn tricks on. And thousands and thousands of falls for each trick to be learned out there. And you better believe on that toe trick right there where her coach had all the confidence in her being able to pull through from that weight. Like you mentioned, wait to that last moment to pull the pin. I thought she was about to pull up, and it just goes to show the strength and conditioning as well from these young skiers.
No question about it. You talked about trick skiing, Dano. Not only do you have to have somebody that you can trust pulling pin in the boat, but you got to have a committed boat driver, because to learn these tricks, like you say, there's a lot of falls in practice. You got to have a boat driver who's willing to stay in the boat all day, turn around, and come pick you up. So very committed, and that speaks to one of the most outstanding things in the sport. It's really a family-driven sport, Dano, and we're going to see that all weekend long. A lot of support from family and friends to make it this far to the Junior Masters.
All right, so it looks like we have a first score posted for our first skier. 31.60, I do believe. Hopefully we'll see that up on the leaderboard here in just a moment. But setting the tone, setting the bar, Alejandra de Osma with 3,160 points. And we got Taylor Grathwall back up on the water, going to come through for her second pass. And this is going to be her hand pass right here. So look for some spins, look for some inverted type maneuvers right here as that Nautique 200 comes down the line through those start buoys. You can see her out there getting a couple of wake jumps in, getting all warmed up, and it is time for some action on the water. You can see she's changed handles as well, which indicates we're probably going to see some in-wrap type tricks. Starting things off going with that body over and do a couple of back-to-backs using the wake and then doing some right behind the boat. There's a 540 back into that back position, reverse 540 for her right there, hand-to-hand 360. Wide outside, big cut into the wake for that roll off the toe side edge, back in on the heels, heel side back roll. Switch stance approach, going for the half cab roll and landing with her hands a little bit too far over the head, falling back on the ski. That'll happen, but still a pretty dang solid hand pass for Taylor Grathwall. And we'll take a quick look here at the replay, I believe, hopefully, and maybe you can break down exactly what happened on that flip for us.
Yeah, it was a really good program right there up until the end, and that was the first time we've seen the back to front flip, the back to, it's really a roll, Dano, you know, into that half cab and went down on the backside of the wake. So important, too. You only have 20 seconds, and what we're going to see as this competition continues on is the lateral movement. Who can get those flips close to the wake and wasting as little time as possible, and that was a really good program. So we're moving into our third competitor out of 6 here, Dano, and, you know, there's only more flips to come.
That's right, and talk about international. This young lady comes to us from Kuala Lumpur, all the way from Malaysia. We saw her last year here at Junior Masters as well. She's been competing for quite some time, making her debut around the age of 5 years old. She's 13 years young out there. Aaliyah Hanafa coming up next. A trick ski specialist representing for Nautique Boats and Reflex Skis, the Malaysian National Sports Council. Really excited to see how far she's come over the last 365 days since the last time we got to see her out here at the Masters. And really looking forward to some big stuff from her. Trying to see exactly how she finished in last year's Masters. I believe she finished somewhere in that top 6, if I'm not mistaken. But my mind has mistaken me before.
All right, so Aaliyah Young on the water. And this is really cool, Dano, out of Malaysia. And in preparation for this tournament, I just took to YouTube, and there has been so much media around Aaliyah in Malaysia as she's developed as a trick skier throughout the years. Really fun to watch the progression, and here we go at the Junior U.S. Masters this year. And it looks like Corey Picos is in the boat, so you know, she's set and ready. She's got everybody in place to have a big score. And the door is slightly open here, Dano. I mean, we haven't had 2 stand-up passes yet, so looking to get into that final round.
All right, well, definitely excited to see, always excited to see the action from the skiers under the tutelage of one of the all-time greats, Corey Picos, of course, an unknown to him, but mentor of mine growing up, the guy who taught me how to trick ski. Growing up through his trick ski videos, of course. That's how we learned. That's how I learned back in the 90s. But we got Aaliyah coming through right here. It looks like she is already set into toe position for her passes on the water. We're going to see what she can do right here.
We're going to get super duper technical on this one, Tyler. What are you watching?
All right, so we're going to open up with the toe hold. So 20 seconds to get as many tricks as you can in as possible. And Aaliyah opening up with the toe 7 front to front. Now to toe 5 back. Great clearance on the toe wake back to back. Nice reverse. There's the surface back-to-backs into toe 5 front, toe O, and there's a toe wake O. Now do we see a toe step back and just going down into the front position. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Aaliyah Young.
Umbrella in the sea of New York City black, and I need to tell her she made the stars.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can see it. Those programs, they build from the surface tricks, and then they move into the more difficult wake tricks, and at the very end, they start putting that ski over the top of the line. So difficult to do, and those step tricks, that's really the difference, and we'll see that all weekend long. Those are the difference makers to get into the finals and ultimately to be crowned the champion. So she'll switch out her skis here and come back for her handle run.
All right, well, you know, we had Pam from the Gardens, from Callaway, up here with us a little bit ago. Want to remind you guys, experience Callaway Gardens, the thrilling treetop adventure at the Callaway Discovery Center, featuring 10 zip lines and more than 20 aerial obstacles and challenges. Well, if you're not quite tall enough, no worries. They've added their sapling course. That's where I got started last year. For those of you guys under 60 inches tall, it's an adrenaline rush with a bird's eye view. For more information, for those of you guys online, CallawayGardens.com/treetop. For those of you guys here on site, make sure you stop over at the Discovery Center and find out how you guys can get up into the air later on this weekend. Also tonight, guys, once we're finished, there's all kinds of stuff going on here at here at Callaway Gardens. There's a kids zone, miniature golf, aqua island, paddle boats, and that's all open till 7 p.m. And then tonight, as the sun goes down, we're going to be showing Finding Dory right here on site. Don't miss out. Action from our friends at Callaway Gardens each and every night. Another set of folks want to talk about is the group from GM Marine. Folks, if you're here on site, you can't miss their booth. That's right when you walk down into the pavilion. It looks great, as it has for the last 2+ years. When the water beckons, don't let an unreliable engine strand you on shore. Instead, ride the perfect wake from behind the latest Nautique boat, powered by the proven performance and reliability of PCM engines, featuring GM Marine engine technology. Find out more at gmmarinepower.com, or for those of you guys on site, stop on over at the GM Marine booth like ASAP. We've got some scores posted. Where are we at, Tyler?
All right, so Taylor Grathwohl's score of 42.80. She is your current leader, followed by Alejandro with 3,160. So those two scores hitting the board. And Dano, it looks like we're going to take 3 into the next round. Here we come with Aaliyah coming back on pass number 2. Now here's the hand pass. Let's see if she can knock down all the flips here in this 20 seconds as we get rocking and rolling. Back.
Setting up, a couple of back-to-backs right there off the wake, then right behind the boat into the 540 right there. Body over for Aaliyah. Little back wrap action right over there into the flip 180. There's a roll for you, and then from the opposite direction, another roll to revert, and skitching out on that landing, almost able to pull it back to front. Another unfortunate crash from one of our skiers out there, but still getting, I'd say, about 95% of the way through her hand pass. Not too shabby. What do you say, Callaway? Give it up for Aaliyah Young Hanifa. Tyler, taking a look out there and looking. It's all you can do is look at it. We had an amazing Super Aeronautique G23 at the Nautique Wake Open a little bit earlier this year, and one of the things that really stood out to me was that red interior. And right now you guys are looking at that Nautique 200 down there, and man, the interior, the colorway on that boat, they complement each other. Absolutely amazing. You know what? If you guys are interested in designing your own custom nautique. You guys can go to designyournautique.com and completely customize any boat in the nautique line at home. You can do it on your smartphone. You can play around with the colors and with the color schemes and all the options. You can save them to your personal profile and check them out later. It's almost like a game to me. It's just a whole heck of a lot of fun. I recommend you guys get on there. Once again, it's www.designyournautique.com. If you guys have a few moments while watching the webcast here, open up another window. Design your own nautique. Who do we got coming up next?
All right, from Santiago, Chile, our next competitor on the water is Valentina Gonzalez.
Watching as Valentina Gonzalez, I do believe this is going to be her final year competing in the Junior Masters here at 18 years old. She's been competing since the age of 7, so 11 years in competitive formats. Been on the water since the age of 4. She skis with some of the best skiers around the world, Tanguy Bennett, Santiago Correa, and of course, how about the Rocket Man, Scotty Ellis, Marion Ellis, and you know, looking down in the boat, I think I saw Marion down there pulling pin. Valentina, I've seen her many times. You know, I live out on Lake Sawyer down in Windermere, Florida, with Adam Settlemeyer and Alex Lorentano. I know that Valentina's been over a handful of occasions to go out and do some tricking with those two, and this girl absolutely rips. She is so strong out there on the water, representing for Masterline and Quantum Skis. She's going to start off her run with the hand pass. I'm going to let you, Tyler Boyd, get tech on this one. Take it away, son.
All right, here we go. So wrapped inside out the wake. Oh, beautifully performed right there. Kind of tricked me on that wake 5 as she makes her way through this pass, moving very quickly in this program outside the wake. There is the back roll, and now into the reverse. Can she knock down this third flip? Half twist, beautifully performed, holds that edge back to front half cab. First competitor of the day to knock down all of her flips, and Dano so technical at the very beginning of that trick, or that run. It looked like she was going to go for the wake 5 back, and then right before she was about ready to go for the wake, turned back into the rope to get a little bit more spin protection and trajectory off the wake. Beautifully performed.
Absolutely, definitely kind of tricked us out there. We do have a score posted for our last skier, Aaliyah Hanifa, with a score of 4,940 points, putting her into the lead right now. So congratulations to Aaliyah. Right now, she is sitting in the first position with Taylor Grathwall right behind her, and on the bubble is Alejandra de Osma. So it all comes down to what Valentina, Paige Reaney, and Brooke Baldwin all put down on the water here as we continue to press forward. A great ride right there from Valentina. You know, it looked like she may have gotten a little ahead of herself at the beginning of her run, but she was able to set back, reset, and just crank it out. We saw her knock out 3 flips in there, and just kind of getting hung up at the end of her pass on some back-to-backs, just a couple of fluff tricks in her run. And, you know, I don't know if she got them all in there, if they're all going to count. She may have lost one of those. It is what it is. Needless to say, you can see the fire in her eyes. You can still see the smoke on the water. It's an amazing morning here. Junior Masters in action. And it is all going down behind the likes of the Super Air Nautique guys. The Nautique brand offers a variety of superior quality inboards. You guys can see the entire Nautique product line at nautique.com. Or if you're here on site, we've got the entire line on site under the tents. Factory representatives from all around the world, because we have folks from all around the world joining us. It's crazy to hear how many different countries we've got folks from here just watching the Masters today. And also, what always interests me is to find out who has the most Masters under their belt. Right now, so far, who I've talked to, Les Todd, with 40 Masters, is holding the record for me this weekend. But I'm sure after I mention that, we're going to have some people running up here to tell us, it's number 52 for me.
Unbelievable. Well, Les Todd, we'll see him in the boat as he's one of the best drivers in the world here at the Masters. And coming back in, here we go, Valentina Gonzalez. So you're right, Dano. There was a few bobbles in that first run. She may have lost some time, maybe a couple tricks. So she really wants to knock this run down to secure a spot in the finals. In the toe hold position, the toe 5 back into toe wake back to back. into the reverse, beautifully performed there. So here we go. Now we're moving into the program. She needs these last tricks, spinning in and out of the rope, the toe wake go. Now toe step back to the front, muscles that one out. Great effort there at the end, and there it is, standing up that run, Dano. She got that toe step back, turning front. You almost have to come front to convince the judges that you landed that trick. She was able to fight her way through, get that stand-up pass. That's going to challenge the leader, no doubt about it.
Well, it's the confidence in this trick division that always impresses me. Some amazing young athletes, guys. We're going to bring her back to shore. You're going to do what you do. Give it up for Valentina Gonzalez. Well, you see it right there, posting a score of 2,950 points on pass number 1 as we eagerly await her run. We are watching here on the live webcast, the instant replay. Some amazing stuff out there. Some of the most talented young skiers in the world here with us at this 58th Masters, the 25th Junior Masters out here at Callaway Gardens as we get back down dockside. And our next skier athlete is getting ready to hit the water. In 2016, this young lady took second place overall with a second place finish in trick and slalom right here at the Junior Masters. She represents for some of the biggest brands in the world, including Nautique Boats, Radar Skis, Performance Ski and Surf, and Reflex Water Skis. And her coach, well, one of the best, a Canadian national champion, a worldwide legend. Her father, of course, the one and only Matt Reaney. On the water next, guys, this is Paige Reaney.
You're right, Dano. Paige Reaney taken to the water, one of the most decorated athletes here in the Junior Masters. You just take a look at that resume, and you know, the resume she only filled out in 2016, and look at all of those titles. It takes up a quarter of the page in 2016, so a very, very special place to be. You know, having Masters under her belt, certainly wants to walk out with some championships here this weekend, and she's one of those overall competitors, so she's vying for that overall top spot, so she'll be competing in slalom, trick, and jump.
Well, it's no doubt she is a specialist when it comes down to slalom ski action. But my friends, don't worry, because you are about to be quite impressed with what you will see on the water from this young lady right here, Paige Reaney, as we get ready to bring her down the line. As we're getting a score posted here. I just heard a number being thrown out there. We'll get that up on the scoreboard after this first pass. It looks like she's going to start off in the toe hold position, bringing that rope up and around her body. It means to me she's looking to spin to win. Let's see what she does right here. Paige Reaney.
I like that, Dano. Spin to win. And here we go. Toe 7 front to front for Paige. Spinning out into the toe 5 back, the toe wake back-to-back series. Now you're going to see her make her way through the course here, and it all sets up to the very end to get some toe steps. And there's the toe wake go. There's a toe step. Oh, very beautiful right there, Dano. And the toe step back-to-back gets hung up a little bit. Unbelievable. I mean, Dano, it was almost like she came off the top of the wake there, paused, looked into the boat, took a picture, and then stomped it right on the back end of that run.
Man, absolutely beautiful run right there as we watch back on the instant replay. So smooth, and just the confidence of the action right there. No hands needed at all for Paige Reaney. I'm sure she's got another full pass of toe tricks, but you look at it's poetry in action right there. Her body position is near perfect on each and every one of those tricks. And even like you said, as we watch this instant replay right here, as we come down to the end of the run, you take a look as she cuts up, kind of getting stuck right there, but able to push through and really ride away. So strong. Definitely making her father, her coach in the boat, super duper proud and impressing us here on shore. That's Paige Reaney, but right now we have a score posted for Valentina Gonzalez, the young Chilean with a score of 6,130 points. Your new leader putting Aaliyah Hanifa in second spot. And on the bubble is Taylor Grathwall. But I'll tell you what, if Paige Reaney can continue that momentum moving into pass number 2 with what we just saw in the toe pass, and trust me when I say she definitely has the hand tricks to match it as well, definitely you could be looking at our next finalist out there on the water. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to get her back up here in just one moment. Before we do that, gives me a quick opportunity to give a quick mention to one of our great sponsors out here. I'm talking about the official non-skid supplier of the Masters, SeaDeck Marine Products, the industry leader in custom non-skid products. They've got their booth right here on site. Of course, if you guys have ever been inside a Nautique boat, then you've definitely seen SeaDeck. It's amazing. Get rid of that stinky carpet. SeaDeck has you covered. Whether you guys are looking for something custom, they can do that for you. Or if you guys just want one of their standard pattern, they got thousands of them. Check them out at SeaDeck.com. Here we go, Paige Reaney, pass number 2. Setting up, guys, a couple of back-to-back 360 maneuvers. Right there's the 540 back to front, and then another 540 from the opposite direction. Spinning hardcore up and into her flip sets. Right now, their toe side back roll, the heel side back roll. Switch heel or heel side approach in for the half cab roll, and then from the opposite side, roll to revert right there, and advancing just a little bit too far on that water ski right there. Ends up over rotating, going down. I think the only way out of that one would have been to take it to back, Mobe.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you take a look at that run, and even though Paige went down at the very end, I think that's going to be enough to go into the next round. So that's all you need to do here in the semifinals. Dana, you've touched on it a little bit as we take a look at the replay. Just coming down on the bottom of the wake, even though you get 20 seconds, you think, wow, that goes pretty quick. And when you're the tricker out there, you're trying to push as many tricks as you can in. But a very important rule of trick skiing, slow is fast. And what I mean by that is make sure you trick one trick at a time all the way down the lake. Don't get ahead of yourself. And that usually is the best recipe for efficiency. And Paige Reaney's first pass scored 3,710 points. Again, Dano, I think that's going to be enough. But guess what? We're getting set and ready for our top seed here in the junior women's trick semifinal.
All right, well, we're going to get her out here in just a moment. Brooke Baldwin is coming up next. Okay, so you're going to have to search here.
Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your top seed from the USA, Brooke Baldwin.
Yes, Brooke Baldwin out there. This young lady has been on an absolute tear over the last few years. And taking a look here in the junior division, Brooke, who I do believe took overall or was right there on that overall podium in 2016, you go to notice that Brooke is actually not going to be competing this weekend in junior slalom. Can you explain to us why?
That's right, Dano. Last week we had the last chance qualifier held at Jack Travers, and Brooke had to make that decision as she qualified to ski on Saturday. So it was a tough choice, I'm sure, because that takes her out of the overall contention today. But what an honor to be able to compete tomorrow with the heavy hitters of women's slalom.
Well, it's been an absolutely huge year for the Baldwin family. Big shout out, congratulations to Brenda being inducted into that Hall of Fame earlier this year. That was amazing. But her daughter right here, Brooke Baldwin, one of the top young up-and-coming names in the world of water ski action, one of the strongest and most focused skiers in the world, obviously in this age bracket, getting ready to do her thing, starting off that toe hold, going with the 540 spin into a nice couple of back-to-back spins, some nice surface turns right there, in wrap 360, out wrap, back into the wrap, losing that footing a little bit, but able to pull back through off the wake with that wake go. Couple of side slide maneuvers, regular and switch into the line overs right there. Brooke Baldwin looking absolutely strong and technical all the way down the line right there. And, you know, I will say this, definitely two different styles between Paige and Brooke. You know, Paige Reaney, she brings that super duper strong style out there. But man, Brooke has just put down some of the most technical toe tricks I think we've ever seen in this junior women's division.
And we've seen a similar program from Brooke in the past where it takes tremendous balance, Dano, as she makes her way outside the wake and to set herself up for those toe step maneuvers, throws in a couple side slides. And it's always when you look at that, you go, you know, that I just don't see that run every day. She makes it look so easy, and it speaks to the balance that she's able to ski on that toe run. And every year she comes to the Masters, and we see those types of runs as Paige Reaney's score hits the board 66-40. So that will punch her ticket into the next round as she is the current leader.
Yeah, absolutely. We're kind of getting back to what you're saying, you know, about Brooke right here. But I think what's really the most impressive part about it all is, you know, these skiers, they write down a list of tricks for the judges of what they're going to do. Now, do they have to stick to that list? Not necessarily, but really, at the end of the day, they are at home. They're practicing these runs hundreds and hundreds of times before these tournaments. But what makes Brooke so special is the ability to adapt in the middle of that run. Because for me, I would have one focus, and it would be what I was working on. This girl right there comes out there, and she's able to start thinking in different directions in the middle of that run. You know, I mentioned this before. It's kind of like rubbing your belly and patting yourself on the head at the same exact time. So much going on in her mind, but it just goes to show, you know, although she's so young, how much of a seasoned vet she truly is.
Oh, no question about it. And Dano, only at 16 years of age, showing such poise and maturity here, just making it happen on pass number one. So the door is open to be the top seed going into the final round of competition with a pass number one like Brooke just had. So here we go, Dano. This is going to be that handle run. Let's see if Brooke Baldwin can knock this down. Going to start outside the wake, wrapped up in that rope, makes her way inside the wake, and here we go. And there is a wake 7 to start things off into some 5 fronts, holds that edge back in. There is a couple back rolls there, and Dano, this is a fantastic run. Can she hold on to the very end and holding that edge tight for Mo back-to-back and just going down an aggressive approach for a semifinal round.
720s, 540s, inverted maneuvers. I'll tell you what, the only thing that looked hard about that run to Brooke was getting herself into that wrap for the 720 to start her run off. The rest of it, so smooth and flawless, guys. Go ahead and give it up for her. Make some noise for Brooke Baldwin, ladies and gentlemen. Your final semifinalist of the day in the junior women division. As we watch this instant replay go down, I mean, just booting off the wake of the 200 out there. And definitely the air control, the sense of the water sense out there. Brooke Baldwin, this right here is a young lady that we're going to be watching for a long, long time. You see it right there, that first pass score of 3,920 points. And with that pass right there, you know, I'm not a judge. I'm not keeping score. But I would have to say that's going to put her up there, you know, probably over the 7,000 point mark.
That was a fantastic run, and Dano, to go out and start with a 7 like that in the semifinals when she clearly could have done a wake 5, I mean, just shows the confidence that she's bringing into this weekend. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm not going to speak too soon, but I believe she's going to be the top qualifier going into the final round of competition. And now we make our way into the junior men's trick event. And this is going to be something else. These guys, literally, we're going to see these Mo back-to-backs a lot here, Dano. And to explain that, it's basically a flip with a 360 starting from one direction and ending in the opposite direction. You've got to have them if you're going to qualify into the next round. And who knows? We could see some front-to-fronts. We could see a 5. Anything could happen here.
Well, you know, and year after year, the tradition lives on here. Expect the unexpected here at the Junior Masters, of course, in the Masters division. You know, leading into the, well, before we move any further, guys, there it is with a score of 7,630 points. Your top seed moving into the final, Brooke Baldwin, guys. So there it is. It is set. Your 3-lady final coming up later on in today's program. It's going to be Valentina Gonzalez, Paige Reaney, and off the dock last in that junior women's final, Brooke Baldwin. Absolute excitement.
All right, Dano, just got notified that the women's trick sheets are available for review, so go check those out. And Dano, the skiing, absolutely amazing, and sometimes so difficult to judge because the tricks are so technical. We have some of the best judges from around the world, year in, year out, that come and judge these trick skiers because, you know, they're basically looking into the camera, trying to define these tricks according to the rule book, give the correct allocation of points. We tally them all up, and it can be so close, Dano. We've seen it come down to a mere side slide to get into the next round, and that may be what it takes here for these junior men tricks, but fabulous start to this 58th Masters.
Well, absolutely. We have a simulation pass going on right now, that Nautique 200, the innovative Ski Nautique 200. It's available in open or closed bow. It's the ultimate 3-event tournament ski boat. You guys can learn about that boat as well as the rest of the Nautique models at nautique.com. It's superior drivability, tracking, and handling, amazing storage space, and 22 world records since its debut. The simple choice, the Ski Nautique 200. My only question to you, Tyler Boyd, open or closed bow, my friend?
Well, I go with the closed bow, and I ski behind one every weekend at my site in the Lakes of Cypress Hill in Texas. I've enjoyed the 200 for so long, and so I don't feel at home unless I'm behind that 200. It's just an unbelievable pull of consistency, Dano, and really, again, the gold standard of all boats.
Now, if you were to ask me the same question, I'm a little bit opposite. I like that Nautique 200, but I like the open bow because when I'm tricking, I like to have that boat loaded with as many people, mostly ladies, as possible, and to help that wake peak up a little bit more so I can just boot some big airs, get some smiles and some claps, and set new PB, personal best.
Have you been tricking a lot, Dano?
A little bit.
Okay, good.
A little bit. I'm getting ready for our showdown throwdown happening at the 60th Masters.
Nice. Well, Dano, you are the enthusiast of all-toed water sports. I enjoy following you on instant or social media, and here we go. Junior men tricks.
All right, well, this is pretty cool here. We got a set of brothers who are going to be, brother-sister combo who are going to be competing out here this weekend, the first of the two. One going to be competing here in the trick. Luisa, the sister, the twin, going to be in slalom later, 14 years old, out of Colombia, ladies and gentlemen. This is Federico Jaramillo.
The quiet scares me 'cause it's
Well, Dano, I can speak to twins a little bit. I have 2 twin boys now, and it's such a cool thing. And we would have to go back to the old Masters days of the Larson twins, right? And so that was a combo that won numerous championships here over the years. But I think what we learned from, you know, the twins back then was on a trick ski, they can look at their bodies, how they move, kind of simulate each other, and they can learn so quickly, and they're at the top of their game. And that's what we're seeing right here with these twins, with Federico and Luisa, 14 years of age, already here competing at the Masters.
Well, and Federico out here, a trick ski specialist, the 2016 Pan Am champ. And real fast, we're talking about the Larson twins. Britt and Ton, if you're watching right now, just accept that friend request from Dano the Mano. Why not?
All right, so here we go. Junior men's tricks. First on the water, Federico making his way down behind that Nautique 200 in the toe hold position. Let's see what he can do. Opens up with an aggressive toe 7 front to front into toe 5 back. No toe wake back to back. Dano, look at this as he does some surface back to backs into toe 5 front, toe O. Now he's going to make his way outside the wake. Can he stop down? Oh, toe line. Oh, beautifully performed. Toe step back, get some back fronts. Awesome tricking. And Dano, for our first competitor today, 14 years of age. I mean, laying in bed last night, if you were going to visualize how this morning was going to go, that was textbook by Federico.
Well, Federico out there just looking so strong, and really what I noticed most was how relaxed he looked. You know, that style that he's got out there on the water, man, that really made those toe tricks look really, really cool. I'm very, very impressed. And at 14 years old, the way he was able to keep his composure all the way through that run, I will say my favorite trick watching that was as he cut in for that last toe trick, cutting up that body over and rotating in the blind rotation over that rope. So taking what's already a difficult trick and adding even more difficulty to it. That's going to be a big score for a first pass. He does have a personal best of 8,840 points. I'm guessing that's going to be close to half that score right there in pass number 1.
I mean, 8,840 points at 14 years of age. Dano, I can't tell you how impressive that is. He is well on his way here, and there's so many more junior masters to compete in. These are the up-and-comers, and you know what's happening this weekend, I noticed on social media, these athletes are going to transition one day into the collegiate ranks. So I know there's heavy recruiting going on at Callaway Gardens this week. Even looking at, okay, 14, 15 years old, they're going to be in college one day. They're handing out things, flyers, recruiting tough because all of these athletes have such a promising future, and you can see why right there.
So you heard that, juniors. Keep your eyes open and stay on it because they're watching. And Tyler, it's more than just being what you can do on the water. It's on and off the water.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing here about the Masters because everybody tunes in on the webcast. Who's Who is here on site this weekend as Federico gets set and ready for pass number 2. Dano, take us through this. We're looking for this second 20 seconds right here. Can he have another stand-up pass?
All right, I like it. Starting out there just with a couple of fun wake-to-wake 180s out there. Feeling comfy, but here we go as he passes through the buoy, starting off in that reverse position, going up and around. There's the 540, a little body over right there, back into the wake. There's the back roll, right back in, back roll to revert. Then from the opposite way, another roll to revert, back in. Wanted the back-to-back move right there. Back around, there it is. Up and around for one more trick, regular and reverse back-to-back moves from Federico. So I may have been wrong. It must have been that half cab that he wanted on that last one, so he stuck it. And the way I see it, Ken, each and every one of those flips knocked out. 2 stand-up passes for Federico Jaramillo from Colombia. And what I really, really enjoyed about that is this gentleman has just set the tone for an exciting junior masters in the men's division, trick ski division out there on the water. As he comes back to shore, give it up to your 2016 Pan Am champion, Federico Jaramillo.
Well, Dano, I've seen a lot of trick skiing, but for 14 years of age, to go out there and set the pace like Federico did here this morning, this is going to be one exciting event. So buckle your seatbelts.
All right, guys, well, don't forget to stay connected with Nautique Boats. Stay in the conversation through social media all weekend long, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Use the hashtag Nautique, hashtag Nautique Boats, and of course, hashtag Nautique Masters. Don't forget to tag Nautique Boats in those social posts. Take your smartphones off those privacy settings so that we can see those posts all throughout the weekend. Myself, Daniel the Mano, Tyler Boyd, we're going to do our best to call you guys out as we see them. Once again, hashtag Nautique Masters, hashtag Nautique Boats, and hashtag Nautique. We're going to move forward to get our next skier on the water. Been skiing since the age of 3, competing since the age of 7, 18 years old. Took first place 2016 at the Sunset Lakes Fall Tournament. Took an overall win at the Nationals last year. On the water from Hartford, Connecticut, this is Quinn Haynes.
All right, and he's starred here on the running order as one of those overall competitors. So important, Dano, as an overall competitor, scored in slalom, trick, and jump. They tally up the top scores, and then we'll have our champion. You need good scores at every event, and really, really important to get off to a good start here in the trick event because everything leads up through slalom into the jump event traditionally. And, Quinn, one of those guys out there, a veteran to the group here in the Junior Masters. So the bar has been set by Federico. We're going to be eager to see what that score is, but 7 skiers here. Quinn Haynes, number 2 off the dock here for the junior men's tricks.
All right, well, he's doing it on that D3 trick ski. Stopped over at the D3 booth this morning to say what's up to the crew over there. Get on down, check out what a good handful of these amazing young athletes are going to be riding all weekend long. plus some amazing deals you can only get right here at the Masters. Quinn Haynes setting up. It's going to be a hand pass for pass number 1. He's going to come right into that weight, go upside down. There's the back roll. Then one off the heel side edge into the switch position. The half cab roll right there, starting backwards, landing regular, then going regular to back, going upside down, and then up and over the front flip, getting back across the weight, guys, into a reverse position, all the way around, going back to back move right there. So a full pass of flips right there. Now, I lost count on how many flips, and I got to ask you, Tyler, I liked what I was watching right there, but is there a limit on flips for these skiers out here today?
Yeah, you take a look at them, and it's traditionally 6 flips, and I got to say, Dano, this was an awesome front flip. You take a look at replay, and skips across the wake, and we've seen that before. You know, you don't want to waste any time, but if you can get to the other side of the wake to hopefully knock down a big trick, sometimes it's worth it just to hop across the wake. Frederico's score right there, 7,690 points. That's the pace. And Dana, this is going to be a tremendous event. And like we've already seen the front flips, the Mo back-to-backs, who knows? You know, the front-to-front, the 540s, we could see it all here.
Well, absolutely, and expect to see it all here at the Masters. You know, there's a reason why these athletes have been chosen. Only 7 skiers under the age of 18 have been chosen from around the world to ski here in the semifinal round of the 25th Junior Masters, the 58th Master of Water Ski, Wakeboarding, and Wake Skating out here. Representatives from France, Great Britain, Italy, the U.S., Colombia, Mexico, all battling it out. So truly an international field right here. And these aren't just the awesome skiers from these countries. These are the top skiers. I don't know that you can go anywhere else in the world and find skiers that can run scores or put scores down any higher than any of these athletes out here. And just absolute excitement. And when you've got excitement, it leads to a whole heck of a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, guys, you're going to be having a whole lot of it this weekend. And if you lose that energy, be sure to stop over at the Rockstar Energy bus. The Rockstar crew is going to be up there along with the Rockstar girls. They're going to be hooking it up with the free Rockstar Energy drink. And then tomorrow, following the Pro Wakeboard and Pro Jump semifinal rounds, I'm actually going to be up there at the Rockstar bus recording a live episode of that Golden Mike podcast. We're doing a live show tomorrow.
And Dano, I've really enjoyed your podcast. You do a tremendous job, and you're inspiring me to go forth. And, you know, just keep doing what you're doing because it's a great thing for the sport.
Well, I appreciate it. And, you know, HO water ski athlete Marcus Brown is here. He's got his own podcast, the Flow Point podcast, with weekly episodes. It's amazing. I'm hoping to get Marcus on the show tomorrow as well. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. But right now, we are bringing our skier Quinn Haynes back through pass number 2. He is electing not to put his foot in the tow harness for this one. This is the most interesting thing I think I've seen in the junior trick division in a long time.
Yeah, and starting off with the Wake 5 back. So going with 2 handle runs here. And Dano, this is what we spoke about earlier. You don't have to go with the tow harness. And now he's going to try that Mo back-to-back probably and just goes back down on the tail end. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Quinn Haynes.
Man, you gotta hand it to Quinn out there. I don't know that I've ever actually seen that happen in a competition, but that just shows that the sport is evolving right there. A full pass of flips and then a second pass of hand tricks right there. Evolution is what it's all about. You know, there's some major tradition in the world of trick ski, but you gotta appreciate what we just saw right there. And you know, hopefully that opens up the door to see more and more skiers doing that. And I'm not saying we got to get rid of those toes at all, but at the end of the day, I think that skiers can go out and they can do what they want to do and do these passes that they have in mind. And, you know, maybe if they do want to break that barrier of the 13,000 points, that may be what it's going to take.
Absolutely, Dano. And Quinn knew he needed that Mo back-to-back, and that's probably one of the reasons he elected to go for 2 handle passes. We are getting into the thick of it here as we look at pass number 1 for Quinn Haynes, 3,220 points. We'll wait for the score on pass number 2. It looks like Frederico's still going to be in the lead with 7,690 points. And we're getting started, Dana. It's getting exciting. We've seen so many things already this morning, and only 3 make it into the next round.
All right, well, we're going to get our next skier on the water coming to us from Milan, Italy, doing it for Quantum, representing D3 out there, an Italian national trick champion. This is Eduardo Morenzi. Skiing with the likes of Silvio Caruso. This young athlete at 17 years old has more than 8 years of competitive experience out there on the water. Looking to see what he can do out here. Has scored well into the 8,000s. Posted a score last year at the Italian Nationals of 8,460 points. Rides daily behind that Nautique 200 out on Orta Lake in Riseto, Italy, with his coach Silvio Caruso. Let's see what he can do here. Eduardo Morenzi getting ready to come down the line. As you see the 200 coming back in our view. Beautiful Robin Lake. Getting set, guys, to give us some of the most impressive action we have ever seen in the world of towed water sports. We're going to set Eduardo up down at the start of the pass. I'm going to hand it over to you, Tyler Boyd, to talk us through it. Take it away, boy.
All right, here we go. Eduardo outside the wake, back position, and look at that. Whoa, saves the Mo back-to-back. Tremendous athleticism and going down on the backside of the wake right there. Ladies and gentlemen, he's still got one more pass. Give it up for Eduardo. Oh, Dano, you can see tremendous save there in replay. And ideally, the trick skier wants to land right on the backside of the wake, so it's a nice, easy landing. If you get too far forward, Dano, you just slip out down into the trough, and that's what happened there.
Well, you know what I got to hand to him is going high risk, high reward right there. You know, with the likes of Lindsay Poirier, Pato Font, Louis Friedborg, Robert Hazelwood, all on deck. Eduardo knows that he's got his work cut out for him. He had to throw it all down. Unfortunate fall right there. Still going to get some points on the board here in pass number 1. You see another one of his coach Marino, one of the legends of Italian water ski right there, giving him some words of wisdom. He's going to have to suck this one up. He's going to have to get set back up, forget about pass number 1, and put it all on the water. Leave it all on Robin Lake. This is the Junior Masters, a once-in-a-lifetime chance for these skiers. You got to forget about that. At the end of the day, that's only one pass, and you know these skiers have thousands and thousands more programs, you know, in the future. But here he's got the only thing that he has ahead of him is pass number 2, and you know that he can come out here, he can stand up another run. And, you know, really, can he make it through to the next round? Only time will tell, but what he can really do is impress the fans right here inside the pavilion and, of course, those judges, and set a tone for his career.
No doubt about it, Dano. And, you know, speaking about a little bit of strategy, he's going to come back with his handle run. There's no question about it. He has some big tricks in there. Quinn Haynes score 4,280 points, so that's going to put Quinn in the second position. Eduardo knows that, hey, look, you know, I went down on that second trick, but all of my points are in that handle run. I'm going to come back on pass number 2 and knock it down. And like I was saying earlier, recruiting for the collegiate ranks is happening all weekend long. And guess what, Dano? In the collegiate world, all that really matters is a handle run. So anything could happen. I mean, this is on the grand stage of it all, and I think we're in for something special here. And let's see if Eduardo can collect his thoughts here on pass number 2.
All right, bringing the boat down the line, guys. Want to remind you the official prop supplier, the 58th Masters Acme Marine. That's right. Go ahead, check them out. Stop down at the booth or online at acmemarine.com. Here we go. Pass number 2. Eduardo Morenzi actually opting for the toe pass right here. So let's see what he can do, Tyler.
Yeah, so going with the toe pass, proving me wrong right there. There's the toe wake back-to-backs into the surface back-to-backs and spinning in and out of the rope. There's the toe wake go. Toe step line and just out the back right there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Eduardo Morenzi. And That's okay, Dano. That's really okay. I mean, going out there for some big tricks, went down on a big flip, went down on, some ski lines, but laying it all on the line, and that's what matters, right? Bringing that intensity to the trick event, and, we move on to the top 4 or 5 seeds here. He knew it was going to take a lot to get into the next round, as your current leader still, Federico, with 7,690 points.
All right, well, if you guys had an opportunity to stop down Vendors Row on site, I hope you had a chance to get over to our friends' booth at PTM Edge. PTM Edge is the official mirror of the 2017 Nautique Masters, machined from aerospace-grade billet aluminum. The PTM Edge mirror boasts an HD prescription-grade lens with a viewing angle of 140 degrees, allowing you to follow your rider from wake to wake without having to turn around. All PTM Edge mirrors are designed, engineered, and manufactured in the USA. PTM Edge, the world's premium ski, wake, surf accessory. I don't care if you're out on a G23 or out on the Nautique 200 with the best in the world. All these guys are running PTM Edge mirrors, and if they're not, well, they will be after this weekend.
All right, your next competitor from Great Britain, Robert Hazelwood.
All right, well, we're going to take Robert Hazelwood down the line, representing out of Lincoln, Great Britain here. A 3-event skier representing this weekend, all 3 events, trick, slalom, and jump, 14 years old. Of course, we saw him out here at the Masters last year. He took 2nd place in slalom. Took 3rd place overall at the Junior World Championships, the Junior World Slalom Champion, 3rd place finisher at the Junior European Championships. But Robert Hazelwood has a name that is synonymous with the world of European water ski action, the world of water ski action in general.
Yeah, no question about it. The family name speaks for itself. I mean, I remember growing up watching Mike Hazelwood ski, and I was just like, man, this guy is unbelievable. A jumper back then, and, it speaks for itself, Dano. And here we go. Robert Hazelwood, one of your overall skiers here in this event. Let's see if he can have a stand-up first run into the toe hold, the toe wake back-to-back series. And Dano, you take a look at it, moving through these surface back-to-backs. So important to establish the rhythm in the program. Getting outside the wake and lands that one into toe step back. Can he get the toe step back-to-back? He can, and he pulls that one out. So fighting through pass number 1 as an overall skier, that's exactly what he needed to do, Dano.
A solid way for him to start his Masters weekend. Robert Hazelwood out there just looking so smooth and so strong in this trick pass right there. In control, so focused at every moment, a true specialist in all 3 divisions right here. And of course, that's one of the most exciting parts of the junior division, is that they are still running for that overall score here. And the Masters is one of the only events in the world that's going to be offering the overall. And of course, it's only happening in the junior division here at the Masters this year. But still, some very, very exciting stuff. And it really just goes to show the level of talent from these skiers.
Well, and it's really good for the sport to see all of these overall competitors, and we're going to get, we don't have overall on Saturday and Sunday, but to mention it, Adam Sedemeyer, who we will see this weekend, took down a record from 2002, and which a lot of people didn't think was going to be possible. And you take a look at the scores that he was able to put together of 4 at 41 off, about 10-8 on the tricks, 216, I believe, on the jump ramp. Just unbelievable. And to think that this type of overall skiing is still happening is unbelievable. And who knows, Dano, maybe one of these competitors we see this weekend will take down the Sledgehammer's record.
Well, you never know, but you really got to hand it over to Sledge for continuing the tradition for the overall. And, we'll talk about Sledge a little bit later on today, but right now let's get back down to Robert Hazelwood. This is going to be a hand pass for the young man out of Great Britain. He's going to start in the reverse position, going upside down, back-to-back mode, back to regular. There's a back to front flip, and then the toe side back roll, heel side back roll to revert right there, back around. This guy is absolutely crushing it right now. Body over 540, and then reverse to front, and then big front flip down there at the end, and then squeezing in one more body out down there at the end. Man, the line overs, the inverts, the spins. Robert Hazelwood putting down an amazing toe pass as well. I don't know, with two passes like that, we may be looking at a new leader here. It really depends, of course. Currently, Federico Charmilio with a score of 7,960 points is our current leader. Let's see what he can do. First things first, let's welcome him back to the pavilion. Give it up for Robert Hazelwood.
Wow, Dano. So he did his job for the overall #1, but trying to get in one of those top 3 spots, it's going to be very, very close. And you're right, he's going to be knocking on that door as the new leader, as we have 3 competitors here remaining in the junior men's trick event. Again, Federico is in the lead with 7,690 points. So you take a look at this: Louis Duplan, Freeborg, Patricio Font, and Lindsay Bordier. Going to be tough, Dano. It's going to be tough, but Robert Hazelwood putting together a fabulous performance here in round 1.
All right, guys, well, there's a ton of beautiful nautiques at the site all weekend long. Take a photo of your favorite for a chance to win a Super Air Nautique G23 remote control. Post your photos to Instagram, tag Nautique Boats at Nautique Boats, hashtag Nautique Masters for your chance to win. Be sure that your Instagram settings are off of private so the folks at Nautique can see those photos. We're going to be giving away those boats all weekend long, so don't miss out on your chance to win. We got our next gear coming up right here, right now. Guys coming to us all the way from France, getting set to do what he does. Took 2nd place at Junior Worlds and 3 gold medals last year at the Europeans. This is Luis Freeborg. And taking a look at some of the brands he represents and rides on out there. Of course, riding behind that Nautique 200 back home in France. And the skis, man, this guy gives a little bit of love to all the manufacturers. Riding that Syndicate HO Slalom ski, switching out between the Quantum and the D3 when he's tricking, and riding a pair of Goodmans when he's jumping. So this is what it's all about, a guy who's helping to keep the industry alive.
That's right, that's right. And 2nd place at the Junior Worlds in 2016. He is right in the mix of this thing, Dano. He wants a championship. There's no question about it. But first things first, needs to punch his ticket to go into the next round. Lewis coming in on pass #1. As you can see, going right by that green buoy. That's almost a warning buoy as he's coming into the course. And here we go. There's the Wake 5 back. Big air right there, and very aggressive here over the top with a back roll. Now into the reverse, probably going to go half twist. Knocks that one down, goes reverse, holds edge, and there is the half cab front flip. And look at that, Dano, 360, just trying to get every trick in on that 20 seconds. Fabulous run.
Man, Louis Freeborg out there putting down a very technical but very different hand pass right there. Almost looks like a run straight out of the show at Cypress Gardens out there. Very entertaining for the crowd, and I'm noticing this across the board in the junior trick field already today. We are seeing some untraditional, traditional style trick skiing going down.
Well, and that shows how much they've been training, and they've probably been videoing, having their coach in the boat. What program makes sense? What tricks am I knocking down consistently? What do I need to make it into the next round? There's so many factors that go around in developing that program, and you're right, Dano. I mean, there's been years that we've announced, and it looks like the same program year after year. Here today, we've seen everything. I mean, everything from 2 hand passes to what we thought was going to be 2 hand passes back into a toe run. Right there, he started off with a huge Wake 5 front. You just never know what you're going to get.
Well, no doubt about it. We do have a score posted of 7,780 points for Robert Hazelwood. I do believe that's putting him into the 2nd position. Just like I said, neck and neck between Federico and Robert in those runs. So we're going to see how it all fares out for them out there on the water. Luis Friedborg getting ready. He's going to come back through. You see him down there setting it up for pass number 2. He's got that specialty toe handle from our friends over there at Masterline. Big shout out to Russell and the crew. Appreciate those guys for all that they do year after year right here at the Masters. We're going to get back at it as he jumps in the water. But for those of you guys watching on webcast, gives you that great opportunity to take a good look at the beautiful red interior inside of that Nautique 200. Guys, you can build your own Nautique 200 at designyournautique.com online. Make sure you check that out. Save it to your profile and share it with us. You know, why not? Let's get him back through pass number 2. This is Luis Friedborg.
Here we go, pass number 2. So important to get into the next round. He's going to need this one as he's getting prepped and ready outside that wake. That Nautique 200 skis back in. Looks like it's going to be the toe 7 front to front. And there it is, the toe 7 front to front into toe 5 back, toe wake back to back into the reverse surface back to backs. Now there is the toe O into toe wake O. Toe step so important here. Dano, can he knock him down? Toe step back right there. Toe step back-to-back muscles that one out. Turns front, throws the iron fist, and only time will tell. Is it going to be enough? We shall see. But Lewis putting together a beautiful pass on number 2.
Well, the record-breaking Ski Nautique 200, the official towboat of the Junior Masters and Masters here at Callaway Gardens. Already giving us some amazing action and some premium showings from these great athletes as he comes back to shore. Once more, give it up for Luis Dupont Friedborg. Another young skier coming up next on the water from France. We are going to take it to down under U.S. in Mexico. That's right, my friends. Pato Font coming up on the water next. 2016 Junior U.S. Open, Junior Moomba champion. Last year, giving it a shot in the pro division at the U.S. Open down there in South Florida. Had the opportunity to announce that event. You had the opportunity to have a set of twins that weekend, I believe, and or right around that same time. But Pato Font, 14 years old, trains out in Windermere, Florida from Mexico. Might be 14 years old, but surely doesn't trick ski like a 14-year-old with a personal best of over 10,500 points, personal best of 10,620 points. 14 years old. Tyler, that's unheard of.
That is unheard of. It's unprecedented. It's hard to think 10,620 points already at the 14 years of age. Dano, what a promising future here for this athlete.
Well, absolutely. But, you know, as Pato Font gets up on the water, definitely another name that we have been talking about, that Font name year after year after year. Of course, one of the notorious towed water sports families out of Mexico. And you think of the tradition here, the history here, but think about the history that the Fonts have put down as well. And, of course, young Pato continuing that great tradition.
Well, and he's going to get set and ready. So you take a look at a 10,000 point score, Dano, and you literally have to have, it's not always even, you know, you could have 6,000 or 7,000 in a handle run and a 5,000 point toe run or a 4,000 point toe run. So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes through these programs. You know, is it going to be an aggressive toe run, aggressive hand run? To tally a score of 10,000 points is absolutely incredible. And if he does that here in this semifinal round, he is going to put some serious pressure on the competition.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, as the second to last rider off the dock, he's had the opportunity to sit back, watch the rest of the competition. At 14 years old, the kid knows what he needs to do. He is a young veteran already, skiing for 12 years of his life, competing for the last 5. Let's see what he can put together here at Junior Masters.
All right, it looks like the toe 7 front to front, yes indeed. And look at the pace of these toe tricks, picking it up here. Surface back-to-backs into toe 5 front, toe O. Now toe step back. Look at this, toe step back-to-back. Now into the reverse toe step, turns front. Toe step 5 and just getting caught up in the rope. So going down a little early. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pato Font. Dano, I think that run right there, we generally don't get to announce the toe step maneuvers right in front of the pavilion. I mean, he was only 8 seconds into that run, and he was charging it with some heavy, heavy toe line maneuvers.
It's all about the confidence out here, and Pato is showing that he has just that, a ton of confidence. Coming out of 2016, so he took 4th place in the Pro Division at the U.S. Open. That's where he set his personal best score of that 10,620 points. Before we talk a little bit more about Pato here, a score has been released of 9,330 points for Louis Fribourg, putting him into the top spot right now. So Louis Fribourg, followed up by Federico Jarmilio, and Eduardo Marenzi is on that peripheral, what is it, peripheral? What do you say, bubble? He's on the bubble. Needless to say, Pato Font on the water, Lindsey Portier down there on the start dock. A ton of more action coming up. Plus, following this junior men's trick semifinal, we're going to go right into the junior women's trick final, the junior men's trick final. We have a course change. We're going to have Pete Surratt from the O'Brien brand up here. And then we've got some slalom ski action getting ready to happen on the water. So we saw a toe pass from Pato. He's going down to the end. We're going to turn him around. I'm excited for his hand pass. Ran into the Font family yesterday as they were getting registered and set up. And I'm stoked to get back home this next week. I'm living in Windermere now, and I got the invite to come on out to the Butler chain and I think they're on the Butler chain. No, they're in Windermere. I'm going to get out on the boat and normally I'm the one mentoring the youngsters in trick skiing up in Wisconsin, but I have a feeling that Pato is going to give me a couple of tips and help. I don't know what trick I'm going to work on. The body over? I don't know. I've always wanted it.
Yeah, Dano, I'm going to tell you right now, you have some things to learn here from Pato. He is skiing like a seasoned veteran already at 14 years of age, and he's going to need to come back on pass number 2. Again, so important here, Dano. We're into the semifinal round, but, within the hour and a half, we're going to have some champions crowned. So he needs to punch his ticket into that final round. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're tuning in on the podcast, this is the 25th Junior Masters competition and the 58th Masters Water Ski and Wakeboard Tournament. You're not going to want to go anywhere. And here we go, Dano. Pass number 2.
All right, Pato Font setting up and into position as he gets ready to come down the line right here, right now. Coming through those start buoys, you see the focus on his face. He takes that cut into the reverse position, going back-to-back mob, reverse back-to-back mob, back to front, up and around. There's a heel side back roll, toe side back roll to revert, back over and in. There's a heel side back roll to revert, back in reverse roll to regular, up and over, body over, line over from the opposite direction. Back to back, there's the 540, and then going for the blind 360, taking that heel side cut and spinning in a unnatural rotation, the trick that took him down right there. Still some big moves out there. Will it be enough to punch himself a ticket into that next round? Only time will tell. Guys, you can do what you do. Get loud and give it up for the young man out there on the water from Mexico, Pato Font.
Pato Font's first pass score, 3,790 points. So pass number 2, very strong pass number 2, Dano, and that should be enough to get him into the next round, but time will tell. We'll wait for the judges. With that being said, Dano, we are moving into our top seed.
All right, so we're going to get our final skier of this semifinal round on the water momentarily. Before we do that, I want to remind you guys, O'Brien Water Sports is in the house. O'Brien is a proud sponsor of this 58th Masters and equally as proud to have been providing fun on the water since 1964. O'Brien setting the standard, breaking world records, providing fun on the water for the entire family since the mid-60s. Visit O'Brien.com to check out their entire line of great water sports gear, or just visit them right there on shore at the O'Brien booth. Maybe get out, float on that O'Brien water carpet. Looks magical.
Yeah, you got to go check out Vendors Row, and it's going to be so exciting as we continue on to the weekend. The who's who of water skiing and wakeboard are going to be on site, Dano. You know, one of the benefits is just to go meet everybody on Vendors Row as well.
Absolutely. Well, right now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to us from Reunion Island out of France, he is the defending junior U.S. Masters champion. This is Lindsay Bourdier. European record holder in 2014, has a personal best of 9,790 points. Another skier who's had the opportunity to sit back, watch the rest of the field, and if he can set a new PB here in the semifinal round, he can ensure himself top spot moving in to the final. It's been a full year, 365 days since the last time we saw Lindsay Bourdier here on the waters of the legendary Robin Lake. Can he put it together? Will he put it together? We'll find out right here, right now, as he comes down the line behind the record-breaking Ski Nautique 200. Let's see what he can do.
Well, he's your 2016 defending Masters champion with 9,060 last year. Let's see what he can do here in 2017. Trying to punch his ticket into the final round, back out of course. Mo back-to-back, now into reverse on the top of the wake right there. Pulls himself back in position, muscling through these flips, getting settled down here into the middle of the routine. And look at that, back to front flip, lands on the tail, goes inverted ski line back, and it looks like a wake 5 into ski line, into ski line back. Can't really see at the far end of the lake right there. Dano, again, a very uniquely tailored program there for Lindsay Bourdier on pass number 1.
Man, watching Lindsay out there, this kid at 16 years old, the defending Masters champ, representing Quicksilver and Reflex Water skis out there on the water. He is definitely looking poised and strong as ever. You can tell he's been working hard during the offseason as he comes back in here in 2017. One of the most solid hand passes of the day out there. And really the story of that run to me is as he came down for those body overs at the end of the pass, the fact that he's able to load the line so easily in those troubling kind of situations, almost no time to get that cut up the wake, and still able to load the line, still able to get the pop off the wake. Man, a strong skier, fully in control. If pass 1 was that exciting, I can only expect to see something even bigger and better in pass number 2. We have a new score posted of 9,460 points, putting Pato Font into second position. Robert Hazelwood is now on the bubble. So bubble position from Robert Hazelwood. Currently in the lead, it's Pato Font, followed up by Federico, and then Pato Font followed up by Louis Freeborg, and then Robert Hazelwood on that bubble position. But man, you look at it, man, big scores in this junior men's division right here. Already, so many of these skiers have broken that 7,000 point barrier this morning, 2 of which have broken that 9,000 point barrier. And if this man, Lindsay Bourdier, can keep it together, poised in pass number 2, no doubt in my mind, I'm going to be looking at another 9,000 plus point ski run from this great athlete. Let's check out pass number 2. It's going to be a toe pass.
It's going to be a toe pass, and Dano, he muscled his way through on pass number 1, so that one's in the books. He's right where he wants to be, and he's hoping not only to get into the next round of competition, but he wants to be the top seed so he can watch everybody go out before him like he did in this semifinal round. And here we go, toe 7, front to front, holds nice balance in the front direction. Now the toe, Dano getting caught up on the top side of the wake, which is going to be very interesting here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Lindsay Portier. So we're going to have to go to the judges here to see what happens here in the junior men's trick final, but it is going to be very close.
Well, as our good friend Des Burkendi has said on many, many occasions, action and drama, and it's all going down right here at the Masters. You're talking about championship action, and my friends, we are getting set to go into the first final of the weekend. The junior women trick final is coming up next here. As we get ready to set them out of the water, I want to remind you we got some great sponsors. Our friends at Barefoot International and Fat Sack Manufacturing, proud sponsor of the Masters here today, hosted by Nautique Boat Company. Barefoot International and Fat Sack Manufacturing have been the premier ballast bag company in the marine industry since the birth of wakeboarding. Fat Sacks are proud to be crafted in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where everything is custom manufactured in-house. Check out their website, fatsac.com, and follow them at Fly High Wake on all their social media channels for the latest and greatest. Good luck to all the riders and skiers. And remember, if you want value, call Barefoot International and Fat Sack Manufacturing. You know what? I like to trick ski, and I like to throw a fat sack in the boat. In fact, I like to put 2 300-pound fat sacks on each side of that 200.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Well, at the end of the day, man, I just like a boost in weight. Perfect.
All right, so we're going to get rocking and rolling here, Dano, and I believe we have Valentina Gonzalez, and I'm going to check with the official running order here in this final round of competition.
Well, absolutely. Out of Chile out there on the water, the first of three in this final. Valentina Gonzalez on the water. She had a solid score back in her preliminary round as she was third to last off the dock, setting a score of 6,130 points in her run. We're going to see what she can put together here in her passes of action junior masters out there on the water. Really excited for this young lady, as we always are. One of those skiers going for it in all three events. We got Lindsay Bortier's score posted of 6,600 points out there. So we'll see how that fares out. But it is the junior women division on the water. She's representing Masterline and Quantum Skis out there on the water. Valentina Gonzalez setting up for pass one. Take it away, Tyler Boyd.
All right, goes with that wrap again for the 5 front to start things off. Into the 5 back right there. Nice wake back-to-back to set herself up outside the wake. There's the back roll. And now the reverse. Can she knock down the half twist? She does. Holds that edge into the base of the wake. Awesome. All 4 flips that time. Unbelievable score there on pass number 1. Dano, this is the final round, and you take a look at the replay, executed so nicely through that program. It's not only about how many tricks you can get in, but you got to have the rhythm to keep the pace to go all the way through the program without making mistakes. Valentina Gonzalez performed that excellent on pass number 1.
All right, for the junior men trickers, scores have posted downstairs. Get down there, check those out real quick. But we've got Valentina out there on the water here in the junior women final round of action. First of 3 ladies battling it out here early this morning out on Robin Lake. Well, thank you to all of y'all checking us out online at masterswaterski.com. The live webcast happening all weekend long. Do us a favor, folks. You see that link up there at the top of your screen? Whoop, right up there. Go ahead, copy, paste that in Facebook as your status. Let everybody around the world know that we are coming at you live all day, all weekend long. It's the noise of the North. I'm Daniel Lamano. Sitting right next to me, the mouth of the Southwest Texas, the one and only Tyler Boyd on the water. Valentina Gonzalez finishing off her first pass of action here in this junior women final. She's going to be followed up by the likes of Paige Reaney from Canada and the U.S.'s Brooke Baldwin. So an international field for these young ladies under the age bracket of 18 years old, but the experience on the water speaks for itself. absolutely unbelievable from these young ladies. And if pass one was as solid as we saw it right there, I'm really expecting some big stuff from Valentina in pass number 2. The fact of the matter is the hard round is over. You've made it through the semifinal round. You are here. It is time to put it all out on the water and leave it here at Robin Lake today.
And you're right, Dano. This is a very experienced field. Valentina, Paige, Brooke, they've all been here before. They have hardware from this tournament, but we want some master champions here this morning, and I'm sure Valentina Gonzalez would love to be on the top of that podium. And here we go, pass number 2, wrapped in that rope. It looks like it's going to be the toe 5 back into toe wake back to back. Puts that leg right next to that knee and in and out of the rope right there. Great pace to this second run for Valentina. Let's see if she can get the toe wake go in. She can. Toe step back into the front direction. Toe wake back into toe wake front. Side slide reverse. And that is going to be a solid run to start us off here in the final round. Dano, that is exactly what you're looking for that first competitor off the dock, is to set the pace. Now Paige Reaney and Brooke Baldwin have something to go chase. And as she makes her way to the dock, one of your overall competitors here this weekend from Chile, give it up for Valentina Gonzalez.
She is absolutely stoked, no doubt on why. A fantastic run right there from Valentina Gonzalez. As we get ready to get our next skier off the water, you know, Tyler, year after year, I get tons of messages and lots of people asking me, hey, I want to get out here on the water of Robbins Lake. I want to be like my heroes and ski right here where the best of the best have traditionally come year after year for at least the last 58 seasons in a row. Guys, you want to ski the same waters as these incredible Masters athletes? Book a water skiing, wakeboarding, or tubing session at CallawayGardens.com/watersports. You'll be towed behind a Nautique ski boat. The best in the business. Water sports opens to the public next weekend right here after the Masters, so be sure to check that out. I know I've had my opportunity, and it's the prestige. There's just a feeling when you ski out here on Robin Lake. Gives you that, for me, it's like I feel like I'm
it's once in a lifetime, Dano.
Well,
I
no
mean,
doubt.
It truly is. And we're going live right now around the world, as you know, Dano, and I'm getting messages here. We got Gus Mitchell down in Australia. I think that's a 12-hour time zone difference, so it's a late-night Masters party for Gus. Thanks for tuning in. And right now, on the water, Paige Reaney.
All right, we got Paige Reaney out there. Super stoked to see what she's gonna do. Paige Reaney has set an amazing score a little bit earlier, 6,640 points. She was 5th off the dock, followed up by, of course, Brooke Baldwin, her father, the one and only, the legendary Canadian, many-time national champion and Canadian record holder. I'm talking about Matt Reaney out there. She represents for Radar Skis, Nautique Boats. Of course, they've got the Reaney Ski School right there in Orlando, Florida, just minutes away from Performance Ski and Surf. So if you guys are ever down there in Central Florida, be sure to stop by for a run with those guys. Always having some great times out there on the water. Paige Reaney gonna start off her pass in the toe hold position. You see how she's getting set up. She's gonna pull that rope up and over her body to get set for some spinning. Tyler, go ahead, take it away, boy.
All right, so the benchmark has been set by Valentina Gonzalez in this final round of competition. Here comes Paige Reaney. Toe 7 front to front, into toe 5 back. Toe wake back to back, into reverse, toe back to back, reverse, toe 5 front, toe O, into reverse, holds that wrap for toe wake O, skis into the bottom of the wake, toe step line O, toe step back, holds that back position, toe step back to back, holds on and gets the toe wake front in. Wow, Dano. I mean, these young ladies here, like I said, it's a very experienced group, but they're all aiming for the top of that podium here today.
Well, absolutely, man, and it's the Masters for a reason. There's a reason why
This is known as the most prestigious event around the world. As we see, these are the most premier athletes in the age bracket of under 18 years old. We've been watching this young lady come up through the ranks year after year. Last season, finishing second place in trick, finishing second place in slalom, and finishing second place in overall. She did have some first place finishes in slalom, the Junior US Open, the Pan Am Championship, so she is no stranger to the top of the podium. If she can put together another impressive pass out here at the Masters, definitely putting the pressure on the rest of the field, the last skier on the dock. And what it all comes down to is what these skiers can do here today. They've been working so hard, set after set. I wouldn't be surprised to find out the likes of Paige Rini taking 5 to 6 sets per day in preparation for this event alone.
Well, Paige, you spoke about her hardware that she has been able to bring home from this event in years past. She is right, literally right in the middle of that transition into the professional ranks. It's not going to be before long, Dano, that she's going to be skiing here on Saturday and Sunday. So you're watching one of the best junior skiers in the world. There's no question about it, and a veteran to the group. Now the question is, here in the 2017 final, can she knock down run number 2 to try to put herself on the top of the podium?
All right, we are getting ready to watch her come down the line. Find that record-breaking Nautique 200, starting off a run, a couple of back-to-backs into a back-to-front 540. 540 into the opposite direction into the wrap, out wrap 360, over and around, toe side back roll, back in, heel side back roll, switch position, going back to front flip, then around with the roll to reaver, able to recover from it, and another surface 180 down there. Pretty impressive right there, showing the strength, the confidence, and control. Paige Rini.
Wow, it looked like she was going to go down on the backside of that wake, and she was able to muscle through it. You can see the athleticism unreal for Paige Rini on that last flip. Ladies and gentlemen, as she comes into the pavilion, give it up for Paige Rini. Well, that's veteran-type skiing right there, and relying on all those previous Masters experiences and Masters moments to get it done on pass number 2. Valentina Gonzalez's score hits the board 7,030, Dano.
Almost a full 1,000 points higher, 900 more points than she was able to earn in her preliminary round. So setting the tone with Valentina Gonzalez, but Paige Rini right there with a really solid finals run for herself, 2 stand-up passes. So it's going to come down to the scoring as well as the judges on that one as we get down to the final skier of this heat, a young lady representing out of Orlando, Florida. I believe she is the one who took overall in 2016 here at the Junior Masters. Well decorated. We're going to see her competing in all 3 divisions. Unfortunately, not going for the overall this year in the junior division, as she is going to be competing junior trick, junior jump, and we'll be seeing her in pro slalom tomorrow. On the water, 16 years old, this is Brooke Baldwin. About what you've done, it's about what you do.
And Brooke Baldwin making her way as the top seed. And Dana, we would have to go back through history, but there has not been too many competitors that have qualified into the elite ranks and also competed in other events in the Junior Masters. I think we'd probably have to go back to the days when Regina Jacquis was a junior to bring up some of those names. So really unprecedented skiing here for Brooke Baldwin in 2017. So it's going to be the privilege and honor to sit up here today and announce her in the trick event and the jump event, and also tomorrow in the slalom event. So Brooke Baldwin knows what she needs to do. Valentina Gonzalez's score of 7,030 points. We're waiting for Paige Rini's score, but Brooke Baldwin has the capability, Dano. If she can get 2 stand-up passes here, she could be the new champion.
Well, even just as a junior skier, arguably in the top 10 of the best female skiers in the world today overall, no doubt about that fact, Jack.
And here she goes for pass number 1. She is in the toe hold. She is wrapped up. Tyler, tell us what you see.
All right, looks like she's going to open with the toe 5 back, holds edge, toe wake, back to back into the reverse direction, spins out and into that rope so nicely. There is the toe O into toe wake O. Now for the toe steps. Again, the side slides outside the wakes and the back front. Toe step lino. So easy right there. Toe step back, waits on that rope. Toe step back to back. It's another day at the park for Brooke Baldwin on pass number 1.
And watching Brooke out there, the girl is so fun and so relaxed as she skis through the course. I'm wondering if she realizes we're at the Junior Masters out here, because she is skiing as if she is at in her backyard, at home, back in Central Florida. Solid ride right there from Brooke Baldwin, and fingers crossed, hoping to see if she can put it together and pass number 2, because this has already been, well, this is, I believe this is like my 5th year announcing both the wakeboard and water ski side, and this is already the most impressive junior women's trick final that we have ever seen.
No, there's no question about it. And Brooke right there, you spoke of it, the poise on pass number 1. She's waiting on the rope to get tight before she goes into the next trick. She knows exactly where she needs to be. You can see the experience, you can see the training, you can see the mental confidence coming into this event. I mean, she has the whole package here this weekend already to be a champion, and still waiting on Paige Reaney's score. It's going to be very, very close, Dano. I mean, Brooke knows that she has to get a 20-second stand-up pass here, because Paige Reaney, I think, put it north of that 7,000-point run.
All right, well, Valentina Gonzalez, there was a score change actually boosting her up another 10 points, so 7,040 points on the board for Valentina Gonzalez as we wait for the score for Paige Reaney. And out there on the, and there you go, we have a new leader of 8,020 points. Paige Reaney, your new leader out there, and Brooke Baldwin now knows that score, and she's getting ready. She's back up. It's going to be a hand pass. This is pass number 2, the final skier in this junior women's division. As she gets ready, she comes down the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to rock and roll. The Ski Nautique 200 strong, consistent pull in full play right here, right now, with one of the best in the world, obviously in this under 18 division. Let's get ready to scope it out. She's wrapped up, getting into that reverse position. There's that 720, right into the 540, back out 540, 755, into some inverted maneuvers. There's the back roll, back over toe side, back roll to revert, back to regular, hillside, back roll to revert. Nice landing right there. She comes in reverse, back to back, and she is able to pull through from that one. The landing, the pull from that rope would have yanked my arm straight out of the socket, but you see the strength and conditioning from these young skiers. Take a look at instant replay. Brooke Baldwin going 720, 540, 540 spin, and then right back over in that half cab roll, back in with the hillside back roll. Big air, strong, showing some great consistent water ski action from this young lady, Brooke Baldwin.
Wow, Dano, you got the impression towards the end of that how important that flip was to pull out, to muscle out Brooke Baldwin, showing what it's all about here, and we'll wait for the final scores. We're going to move right into men's tricks, so you're not going to want to go anywhere.
All right, before we do that, JL Audio is in the house, guys. JL Audio develops innovative products that improve the audio experience on the water. To ensure the soundtrack for your day of fun in the sun and making sure that that never stops, JL Audio conducts rigorous environmental testing on the marine audio products they engineer and manufacture at their Miramar, Florida factory right here in the USA. JL Audio's passion for great audio is heard every time you listen to their products. While here at the event, be sure to experience JL Audio's patented wavefront audio technology, developed exclusively for Nautique's line of boats. You guys can check that out over at the Nautique tent, like right now. All right, you see us linked back up, which means we are getting set to be back on the water with our first skier in the junior men's trick final from Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Robert Hazelwood.
And Robert Hazelwood doing what he needed to do in the semifinal round. He was on the bubble right there at the 4th position and getting it done, punching his ticket into the next round. An amazing overall score that he's going to carry throughout the day. And now, already, in the 3rd spot on the podium, he can let it all loose right here and see if he can climb his way up to hopefully be crowned a Masters champion. Robert Hazelwood coming in for pass number 1.
All right, little Bobby Hayes action getting ready to happen right here, right now. Happening behind that Nautique 200, guys, the official towboat of the 58th Masters, 25th Junior U.S. Masters. Robert Hazelwood wrapped up, getting ready to come down, setting up outside that wake, making his way back center line. As he comes past those start buoys, let's check this out. Starting frontwards, guys, as he spins around, there's the 360 into the 540. Going back to back into that wake, back to reverse. Some surface back-to-back spins in wrap 360, spinning it out right there, back into that wrap, Waco, and then one more trick over the line right there from Robert Hazelwood. Staying strong, poised, in control, and just there at the end, getting a little over the back of his skis and falling off. Tyler, tell us about what you just saw happen in that first pass from Robert Hazelwood.
Very smooth, very consistent, and very poised. And I got to tell you, right up until the end there, it's going to be a close call, but 2 toe-step maneuvers, that's what he needs if he's going to put the pressure on. Right there, Brooke Baldwin's score looks like 8,170 points. So unofficially, that looks to be your champion, and we're going to wait for the final results. And there it is, Baldwin on top, 8,170 points, followed by Paige Rainey, 8,020, and Valentina Gonzalez, 7,040 points. Terrific start to this weekend.
Man, and Tyler, we have the best seats in the house up here in the Robin's Nest on Robin Lake. Definitely starting to get a slight breeze here on Robin Lake now. A little bit of texture across the lake. Shouldn't really affect the action too much, and especially the action for a young man like 17-year-old Robert Hazelwood coming to us from Great Britain. I don't know if you've been over the pond at all and done any skiing out there, but traditionally not necessarily the best conditions year-round over there in England, but also on that same end right there, if you don't get the best conditions, but you're at that level, it gives you a little bit of an edge on the rest of the skiers out there. I know I'm spoiled down in Orlando, Florida. I don't ski unless it's glass anymore, but I grew up in Wisconsin ripping out on white caps,
Well, that may be one of the reasons why Robert Hazelwood feels so at home here on Robin Lake. And, there's the mystique and the tradition around this lake of, skiers have said, I just really didn't know I was, going to run into a rough spot here or there out here. Robert Hazelwood, with skiing in those types of conditions, growing up on those types of conditions, he looks very, very confident, let's say that, Dano, here in this final round of competition.
All right, well, you saw the toe pass. Robert Hazelwood going to come back down the line with the hand pass right here. Get ready for some nice looking spins, body over maneuvers, and inverted tricks as he sets out nice and wide, getting a couple of wake jumps in, feeling out the wake right here as his last pass in this trick final comes to head. Let's see what he can do into that reverse position, going upside down. That's a half cab roll back in, heel side back roll, toe side back roll right there. There's heel side roll to revert back to back mob right there. And then back around, there's some body over maneuvers into the 540, back to front right there, 540, up and over, a nice looking front flip, and then getting back over, another body type maneuver, and finishing off with a couple of back-to-backs outside the wake. A nice looking pass for Robert Hazelwood. Add that score to the pass number 1 with those nice solid toe tricks. Will it be enough to take top spot? Not sure about that. The one thing I do know is Robert Hazelwood set the tone for this final round of action. Junior men trick ski. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Hazelwood.
Well, Robert Hazelwood comes into the pavilion, and he looks dialed in here this weekend. Your next two seeds are Louis Duplan Freeburg and Pato Font. And very shortly, Dano, we're going to have another Masters champion on our hands. And then we're going to move into the junior women's slalom, the junior men's slalom, and have those finals, and then the jump events. And not to be dismissed here, Dano, some of these young riders coming up here this afternoon in the wakeboard event, I cannot wait for that. That is going to be awesome, and they're going to bring out the G23 and see some massive boosts.
Yes, just like in water skiing this year, in wakeboarding, we have seen the best performances across the board. I've been impressed by kids under 9, the kids in the 10 to 13 division, of course the junior professional men. They're called junior pro and getting paid for a reason. And I expect to see some unexpected moves out here today. But right now, let's get at it. Folks on the water, representing from Grenoble, France, this is Louis Freeburg. Took second place at the Junior Worlds in 2016, 3 gold medals at the Europeans, looking to take home some gold here at Junior Masters. Can he make it happen? Will he make it happen? It all comes down to this second skier off the dock. He had the chance. He watched Robert Hazelwood moments ago. He knows what he needs to do. And of course, trick skiing runs traditionally in the blood of the Frenchman out here. And Louis Freeburg definitely did not disappoint in the preliminary semifinal round a little bit earlier today. Will he do so again? Can he stand up 2 passes here in the final, here where it counts? We find out now. Tyler Boyd, he is setting up. It's going to be a hand pass for pass number 1. He's wrapping that rope around his body. He may be going to get into that reverse position. No, starting off, I like that front to back 540 into a body over, into that reverse position. There's a back to front 540, toe side back roll, heel side back roll, back around. There's the toe side roll to revert, heel side roll to revert, into a back to back mob. Holy smokes, that rope getting high, but then able to get back on, get that line tension all settled up, into the huge front flip, and then finishing off with a couple of surface tricks right there. Louis Freeburg, let's slow it down. Let's watch it back on instant replay. Poetry in motion.
Yeah, and it's some aggressive edges here, Dano. I mean, from the flips to the 540s across the board. What's most impressive towards the end of this run right here is the balance. Look at the slack in the line. He catches his balance, somehow moves into front flip, and then spins out into a 360 at the very end. Impressive skiing, a lot of athletic ability there from Louis Freeburg. He knows Pato Font is on the dock. And let's take a look at those preliminary scores. You had Louis at 9,330. You had Pato Font at 9,460. Only roughly about 100-point separation. Dano, these two competitors know that they're going to have to put up a big score if they're going to be crowned champion.
Absolutely. Well, you take a look at the scoreboard right there. Robert Hazelwood, not from Colombia, but from Great Britain, actually, with a score of 7,080 points. So setting the tone with 7,080 points here in this final round of action. Louis Freeburg just went down, put together a big handle pass run right there. Got a little bit hung up on that back-to-back mob with that arm up in the air. I probably lost one trick in the run, but didn't fall. Was able to get that front flip and a couple of surface maneuvers down there at the end. That's a big pass, but it comes down to pass number 2, the toe pass from this trick ski specialist. Skis with the likes of past Masters champions, both Pierre Ballon and Clementine Lucine. So no doubt in my mind, this guy has what it takes to be a champion here at the Masters. My question to you, Tyler, can he put it together? Will he put it together here today?
Well, all eyes on Robin Lake for pass number 2. Here comes Louis, wrapped in that rope and spins out into toe 7 front to front, toe 5 back, holds edge for the toe wake back-to-back series, moves into the surface, now into toe 5 front, a toe O, and spins out to toe wake O. Here's the toe steps, toe step line O into toe step back, holds edge, toe step back to back, turns front, and just goes down. And don't know if he had one more trick in, but a solid run here in the finals. Give it up for Louis Freeborg. Dano, and you spoke of it. I mean, you have 20 seconds. You may lose a trick if there's a bobble. You're roughly looking at 13, 14, maybe 15, but usually 13 or 14 tricks per pass, and every trick so important. And I think that's one of the reasons when we look at pass number 1 of 5,290, when Louis had that bobble, Dano, didn't waste any time on Mo back-to-back to move into that front flip, just kind of threw it to see if he could get it in, and solid pass.
Well, absolutely, throwing down 2 of the highest scoring inverted tricks right there. I mean, those 2 tricks alone are putting you over 1,200 points, I believe. So a smart skier out there, no doubt. We got 1 skier left to go before we get him out on the water. I want to make sure you guys come check out all the HO Skis gear over at the Ambush and Bywake.com booth here on site, including the boating industry's top products of 2016 and 2017, the inflatable rad collection in Freeride Evo skis. I'm excited. Wade Cox is going to be in the house this weekend. Marcus Brown's going to be over there hanging out over at the HO booth as well. I'm going to be chatting it up with those guys. I'm hoping to maybe hang out with them, go out to dinner with them. It's going to be awesome. We got all the pros with us here today. But right now, let's get this young man out on the water. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mexico, this is Pato Font. Patricio Font on the water right now, representing HO Skis, KD Skis, Miami Ski Nautique, Camaro Wetsuits, Reflex Bindings, 2U Snacks, and Under Armour Mexico, with a personal best of 10,620 points set last year at the Professional U.S. Open by Nautique Boats, where he took a 4th place finish in 2016. He finished 1st place at the Junior U.S. Open, 1st place at the Nautique Junior Moomba Masters. He's the Junior World Champion, the Pan Ams Champion. This kid has definitely got the credentials and the lineage.
No question about it. You know, if you're scoring anywhere in that ballpark of 10-6, you have a lot of tricks, and it's going to be interesting to see. As top seed, what program does he elect to go with? Is it going to be that 10-6 program, or is it going to be somewhere more in the ballpark of a 9,500, 10,000, just so he can aim to get on the top of the podium? Is it an aggressive run, conservative? Here we go. Pato Font coming in, your top seed here in the junior men's trick final. Starting off with the toe 7 front to front. Pato in the semifinal round moved very quickly through these first couple of tricks. There's the surface back-to-backs, now into the toe 540, into toe 360, toe step back to back. Now into the reverse toe step back, turns front. There's the toe 5, knocks it down in the final. Toe step front, and unreal right there. You can see how difficult that trick is, Dano. He went from the toe steps and then not even wrapped in the rope. No reason to wrap, goes for that toe step 540.
Man, what's so cool about Pato's trick ski style is the way he's able to load the line on those toe maneuvers right there. And, you know, we were talking about the tradition of these toe tricks. But Pato, with the way he loads the line and the ability that he has at this young age right here, I wouldn't be surprised if over the next season or two, you start watching that Pato's going to start inventing new toe tricks, and they are going to have to start, you know, making room in that trick book for some new maneuvers to be posted out there on the water.
Well, and that's a veteran toe pass right there. That's something that we could see on Sunday from the professionals, because he is right there. I mean, he's on the cusp of getting in on the Sunday round in years to come, getting it done. And I'm telling you, if he has a stand-up pass right here, he is on his way to being the next champion. Louis Duplan Freeborg right there, 9,480 points. So a solid run right there, which puts the pressure on a little bit here. You know, the door is not that open here, Dano. He still needs to stand up here on pass number 2.
All right, well, let's get that score back up on the leaderboard right now. Take a look. We'll take a quick look back at that score. 9,480 points for Louis Freeborg, putting him into the lead with Pato Font on the water. Big shout out, a huge shout out to our cameramen out here this weekend. These guys are doing a great job already capturing all the action. Of course, the camera work is part of what makes the Masters over the last decade plus. Pato Font, one of the young, aggressive skiers in the world out of Mexico, calling Windermere, Florida, hometown, home base, and practice grounds for right now. Hand pass, pass 2, coming up. He is set. He is ready to go. Into that reverse position, up and around back-to-back mob, going to the reverse back-to-back mob, up and over. There's that hillside back roll, toe side back roll to reverse, back to front. Right there, guys, roll to reverse from the opposite direction, half cab roll, some body over maneuvers is a 540, back over, kind of getting hung up on that last one, but able to pull through and ride it away. Nice hand tricks down there at the end, but unfortunately falling down to just at about that 18 to 19 second marker on the clock. Will it be enough? We're gonna leave that one up to the judges. Nonetheless, guys, what a great ride and a whole heck of a lot of fun happening out here on the waters of Robin Lake. Give it up for that man, Pato Font. Give it up for the rest of the crew here in this junior division. Louis Freeborg, Robert Hazelwood, of course, Pato Font out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for an official score, but that is your junior men, junior women trick finals here at the 25th Junior Masters of Water Ski and Wakeboard, baby. And you can dig that. Oh, yeah.
Flushed with hardworking American folks that what they want to do is they want to come in every day and provide pride and craftsmanship. They want a quality product driven by the blood, sweat, and tears that they put out there. And nothing speaks America more than that.
What does it take to go further? It takes a drive few possess, a commitment few can match, and a history to back it all up. We test for every open throttle, every all-day excursion. Nothing is left to chance. So when the water beckons, you can answer with confidence. We are GM Marine.
Noise the North, Dan Lamano back here at the 58th Masters. We had just got finished with our junior men trick final. We've got some scores posted. In third place, Robert Hazelwood with a score of 7,080 points. Louis Friedborg in second spot, 9,480 points. And taking the win here at Junior Masters in the trick division with a score posted of 9,510 points, Pato Font. So congratulations to our junior trickers. But right now up here in the announcer's tower, the Robin's Nest, I have a very special guest and a good friend of mine, a good pal, a toad water sports enthusiast himself, from the O'Brien brand, the one and only Pete Surratt. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, Dano. How are you?
Man, I am doing fantastic. It's great to see you. I know it's been some time. I saw you at the Nautique US Open, closing off 2016. But we are back here at the Masters. How many years is it for you now?
This is roughly 25, 26, somewhere in there.
25, 26 years. So what is it about the Masters that brings a guy like you back each and every season?
Oh, it's just an awesome event. I mean, when you look at it from the way the tournament's always been run, right down to the venue, you put all that together, and this is just, it's the cream of the crop. It doesn't get any better than coming here to Robin Lake.
Well, you're up here to talk a little bit about O'Brien Water Sports. And year after year after year after year, well, this is my 12th year up here on the microphone, and my 15th year, I believe, here at the Masters. O'Brien always seems to have quite a showing here on site. And once again, I took a look at the booth as I walked in this morning. You guys were getting things set up, and you knocked this one out of the park for 2017. Tell me a little bit about what's going on over at the booth this weekend.
Oh, we got all sorts of fun stuff over there. As you mentioned, it's all towed water sports. So, obviously the skis and the wakeboards are a big part of it, but we've got, the tubes, vests, water carpet. We brought that back. Hopefully we'll get it floating out here in the swimming area again, let the kids play on it a little bit. It's all about family fun. We want to be able to get everybody out there on the water in any manner of way that they want to do it and have fun. That's the name of the game.
Well, you guys have been doing it since 1964, decade after decade after decade after decade, and you guys have held one of the most notorious names in the sport, the O'Brien name, synonymous with water skiing and, of course, wakeboarding and, of course, some of the best athletes in the world. But what is it that keeps people coming back for the product from O'Brien year after year?
Well, we'd like to think it's our smiling faces, but we know that's really not true. No, it's the fun. We want to make sure that people have fun. If people have an issue with something, because let's face it, nobody's perfect, we just take care of it. And, customer calls up, gets a hold of customer service, buy a product from a dealer. We're very picky about where we sell some of the stuff. We want to make sure your experience is top-notch all the way out till you get behind the boat.
Okay, so it's no doubt, when I'm at my lake house back home in Wisconsin and I'm out there, you see tons of people riding O'Brien, whether it's, from your basic slalom skis all the way up to your higher end pro level skis, the wakeboards, of course, the tubes. Your team is absolutely stacked on the wakeboard side. Of course, 2017 already looking solid with O'Brien team rider Corey Tunison taking a huge win at the Nautique Moomba Masters to kick off the season. But tell me a little bit about what's going on the water ski side of things, because traditionally you guys have put out some of the best skis in the world, going all the way back to that Maple 6 AM, and it's still like holding some of the top names. Drew Ross, I believe, is a guy who's been representing the brand for a long time. So on the ski side of things, since we are about to go into slalom, talk a little bit about what's going on the ski side with O'Brien.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's kind of where it all started back in 1964. So, we've got everything, again, to fit the entire range, all the way from our world team, which is our entry-level ski. So somebody first starting to, want to learn how to slalom ski, it is the best thing you can do to get out there and learn, all the way up to our G5 top of the line, what Drew skis on, Glenn Campbell over in the UK. These guys have put a lot of hard work into the designs, so we do it soup to nuts. Again, the entire family. We want to make sure everybody has a great time.
All right, so I got to ask you, coming up later on this weekend, we always have these head-to-head events. Is O'Brien going to be involved in that again this year? And if so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It's, again, one of the highlights of the season for us is to be out here on Friday and watch these juniors ski. And so we're back again. The junior women are about getting ready to go out. The top two finishers today will ski tomorrow head-to-head, and winner gets a $1,000 scholarship. And then the men will be out a little bit, the junior men. The top 2 again will ski on Sunday. And again, $1,000 scholarship goes to the winner.
I know year after year you always have the opportunity to chat with these skiers who are in these head-to-head battles out here, but how special is it to have the opportunity for these young skiers to get out onto the waters of Robin Lake on a Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, obviously the big show on the weekend is what these kids strive for. They want to be out there as pro athletes. So this gives them an opportunity to kind of feel a little bit of that pressure on the weekend at a younger age. I think that's a great thing for them. They get to ski right at the same time when the pros do. And yeah, it's been exciting. The looks on the kids' faces when we present the awards at the banquet, it's a lot of fun.
So 2.5 decades you've been coming out here to Callaway Gardens for the Masters, and it's no secret there are some major changes happening all around the gardens here this year, but any thoughts on some of those changes?
You know, it's always funny. We pulled in here yesterday and came in from the cabins and said, oh, we can't make a right-hand turn. Well, that's not the first year they've done that. So, yeah, it's always fun to kind of come here and figure out, all right, where we got to go now? Because you never know when you come to Callaway.
All right, so before I let you get out of here, what are you most excited for 2017?
2017, we just want some good weather, and we want to see a lot of people get out on the water. You know, the towed water sports industry, you know, relies on weather, and a weekend like this to kick off the season on Memorial Day, we want to see more of this. We want to see more people out on the water, more people having fun, and hopefully doing it with an O'Brien product in their hand.
All right, well, if anybody out there in Webland or here on site wants to get out in the water and have a little bit of fun themselves on some of that O'Brien product, where do they have to go to find out more information?
Well, the best place to go to the website, www.o'brien.com. From there, you can get on our Facebook, our Instagram. There's a lot of new blog posts. The riders have been posting stuff up on our homepage of the website, so if you want to follow Corey and Tara and a lot of the riders, you'll get a lot of information there. And, yeah, check it out on Instagram and Facebook, too.
All right, well, there it is. Hey, Pete, I know one of your favorite events, Slalom, is coming up next, so I'm going to let you make your move back over to the O'Brien tent. You guys going to be doing any giveaways over there this weekend?
Maybe this weekend, yep.
All right, so guys, make sure you guys stop over there. Pete Surratt from O'Brien, I hope we touched on it all, and if not, I'm going to probably have you back up here tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan, Dan. I appreciate it very much. Good to see you.
All right, sir. Guys, give it up for him from O'Brien, Mr. Pete Surratt. And I, once again, want to recommend that you guys stop over there at the O'Brien tent. Check out the latest and greatest from those guys. They've got that floating water carpet getting ready to launch out there on the water as Tyler Boyd joins me back over here in the announcer's tower, taking a look down at the site. It looks like we've got some fantastic vendors all set up. I'm really excited about the crew over there at CDEC, Jason Gardner and the crew. What's up, Jason? What's up, CDEC? Those guys have some really cool stuff. Now, I don't know about you, but personally, I still go out and ski behind my dad's boat, and being as that boat is from the mid-90s, it's got old stinky carpet, moldy at that, and I am planning to rip that stuff out this summer and get a little custom CDEC. Now, if you guys are looking to get some custom CDEC, be sure to find a CDEC certified fabricator and installer in your neck of the woods. You can go to CDEC.com to find out more about that. I just helped the guys down at the World Barefoot Center get their boat taken care of. We got Brian Grubb set up with a couple of paddle boards, custom CDEC. Nautique team athlete JD Webb, well, he had his flats fishing boat fully CDEC'd out. And CDEC actually made me a couple of custom Golden Mike podcast CDEC pads that I stand on when I play with my yo-yo.
There you go.
Practice,
well,
so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, and I tell you, when you go look at the custom work that CDEC's been able to do, it's really unreal. And then just to go feel the material, Dano, it's awesome. I mean, I'm impressed. You've got a yo-yo standing platform which you can perform on.
Well, you go to the I've had the opportunity to go to the factory on many occasions and see how it's all done, and every time I go there, they've got something new in the works. Go to cdeck.com, find out more, or stop over the CDEC booth for a sample, guys. We're going to be back on the water here momentarily with our slalom semifinal in the women's division. Now, I do want to remind you guys, we've got our friends at GM Marine in the house, and I don't know if you knew this, but Nautique boats are powered by the proven performance of PCM engines featuring GM Marine engine tech. With thousands of hours of testing and decades of real-world dependability, trust your day on the water to the 1-2 combination of PCM and GM Marine. Find out more online at gmmarinepower.com or stop over at their amazing booth. We got action on the water. This is the junior women slalom semifinal. We got athletes out there, and we got an athlete coming down the line. Let's see who we got. It looks like Alejandra de Osma is back on the water. We saw the 17-year-old from Lima, Peru, earlier in the preliminary round of the women's trick ski semifinal. She's looks like she's going for that overall here this weekend. And there you go, a smooth first pass right there from Alejandra on that slalom ski. For those folks who may have stumbled upon the webcast on live, break down exactly what we're watching right now, Tyler Boyd, if you don't mind.
Well, we've transitioned from the trick event into the slalom event. That boat is a constant speed of 34 miles an hour. These skiers need to negotiate their way around 6 full buoys. There is an entrance and exit gate on each end of the course. Now, Dano, that top speed being 34 miles an hour here in the junior women's competition. Once they run that line length, they're going to shorten it up a little bit more. It starts with a standard 75 feet of rope, and we move in increments at 28 off, 32 off, 35, 38, 39 and a half off of that standard 75-foot line, as you can see right there. Going to be coming back at 32 off, so a running total of 42 buoys. Timing, so important here in slalom, Dano. You only get one shot. There is not a second pass. There's not 3 jumps. It is one shot each pass at the slalom course. She's coming back in.
All right, setting up wide. It all starts through the gates as she comes down 32 off that line length, around number 1 over to number 2. From Alejandra back over to number 3. Nice smooth turnover there. Buoy to buoy, looking nice and tall and super strong as she comes around the 5 ball into number 6. And there you go, another smooth pass from Alejandra de Osma out there on the water. Looking tough, girl, looking good.
Well, I tell you, Dana, you take a look at that pass, and she comes off that second wake as we take a look at replay, breaks free of the boat, which allows her the ability to turn back in on that line. And it's so important that you come onto that line nice and easy. You don't want to be too heavy off the backside of the buoy. And that is really, when you take a look at that 32 off pass, the reason she's running head-to-head or ahead in the race from buoy to buoy is because she's breaking free of that boat, coming back in nice and soft on that line. I'm telling you, Dano, we could see a 35 off already go down, and if you're tuning in on the webcast, we have a slight textured tailwind here, which is going to provide a little bit of stability here for these slalom skiers. But Alejandra looking solid on pass number 2.
Well, in 2016 at the Nautique Junior Moomba Masters, she broke into the 38 off pass, getting 1 buoy, taking the win at the Junior Moomba Masters. That was last season. Something tells me that she's been working hard, and here in 2017, she can get a little further, a little deeper. She's got to get through this 35 off pass, big turn at 1, and around number 2. She was super duper early right there, early at number 3 again. Over to number 4, through a little bit of that rough stuff, making it around number 5, super easy, and into number 6.
Wow.
Pro level skiing right there from the 17-year-old out of Lima, Peru. Absolutely picture perfect on that 35 off pass. We're going to take 3 more feet off that rope. We're going to shorten it down to 38 off. Now, we're going to be talking about this all weekend long because we're getting more and more newer viewers throughout the weekend on this webcast. But as that line length gets shorter, the one thing that I seem to notice from these skiers at 34 miles an hour is it seems like they are going a little bit faster on each pass buoy to buoy. Can you break that down a little bit?
No question about it. As that line gets shorter, the speed picks up between the buoys because you're narrower in the course and you're slingshotting back and forth anywhere between 60 to 65 miles an hour. And for our first skier of the day, to run that 35 off 12-meter line so easy. Dano, she's coming into a slight textured headwind here for 38. She's already putting herself in contention to punching a ticket into the next round because this is going to be some serious pressure on the competition. Historically, that third buoy here at 38 is usually what punches your ticket into the next round. So here we go, 38 off the tow line, dropping in behind that Nautique 200, around number 1, a bit slow, over to number 2, and just can't hang on at number 2. So we'll see how they score it. Couldn't quite see it from this vantage point, but Dano, this is going to be a solid opening score.
Well, you take a look right there as she came around that 2 ball there, getting a little break at the waist a little bit, and especially at those short lines, you can't have, there's no room for error, Tyler, is kind of where I'm getting at. So unofficially, we're going to call it 1.5 at 38 off as we wait for the official word, and officially, it's 1.5 buoys at 38 off for that young lady. Give it up for her, folks, all the way from Lima, Peru, Alejandra de Osma. Well, already watching some great stuff, watching some action out there, and she's going to swim out. It looks like she's going to swim out to the bush, trying to figure out maybe where to go out there. But, you know, already coming into the Junior Masters here this season, the Nautique 200, I believe this year already, 4 world records have been thrown down today. And, you know, as far as it goes, the way that I see it, that just leads to a lot of great momentum. We've got our next skier on the water. She comes to us from Santiago, Chile. On the water, it's Valentina Gonzalez. Let's see what she can do right here.
All right, Valentina Gonzalez just jumped off that trick ski, slapped on a slalom ski, and here we go, rocking and rolling around number 4, over to number 5. And again, this is a overall skier here in this competition today, so needing to put together a score here in the slalom event. And traditionally, Dano, it all builds up for these overall skiers from the tricks to the slalom and then ultimately the jump event where they can cut like mad into that red ramp and go as far as they possibly can. Valentina Gonzalez opening up at 22 off, 6 full buoys. So here's a good time, Dano, to talk some strategy here in the slalom event. Wind sometimes plays a factor, how you've been skiing, what the competition's done in front of you. You see Valentina open up there at 22 off. Our first competitor of the day opened up at 28 off. So it's really optional for these skiers to open up at what line length they feel comfortable. I would say the majority of the time, depending on where we are in the competition, it has to do with the wind. And Valentina opened up with that 22 off is telling me one thing. She wants a 35 off headwind. And since Alejandra already has ran the 35 off headwind is what she's shooting for here in this semifinal round.
All right, so shortening it up, guys. Here we go. Pass number 2 from Valentina Gonzalez through those gates around number 1, big turn, big pull over to number 2, making it way over to number 3. Another nice turn, getting over to 3 early, over to number 4. Nice pull over there to 5. She gets around 5, and bam, there you go, all 6 buoys. For Valentina Gonzalez out here on the waters of Robin Lake. And as long as she got those gates coming in, coming out, she is going to advance to that next line length out here. I'm getting some messages too through social media and texting, of course, from around the nation. Big shout out to my main man, Jared Meyer, and the crew from the Madison ski team up there in Wisconsin. What up, gang? Glad to have you guys watching us here on the webcast. Already this morning, we saw the junior women and junior men tricks. We have crowned junior masters champions in tricks. We just have started the junior women division in slalom out there on the water. is the young lady from Santiago, Chile, Valentina Gonzalez. And traditionally, Valentina has competed in all 3 events. She's had some top finishes in both jump and trick, as well as overall. Many top 3 finishes. And she's looking for a major slalom finish here this weekend. Can it happen? Well, if there's one thing I know about this young lady, she likes to leave it all on the dock and put it all on the water. So let's see what she can do. Pass number 3, Tyler. What you see?
Here we go, 32 off the toe line. Needs a good start. Slight tailwind, just a little bit of texture though, not too bad. Valentina traveling into number 3. Oh, bit slow. Wheelies out, needs a big turn at 4. Unable to get it, so it looks like unofficially 3.5 at 32 off. But ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Valentina Gonzalez. Well, Dano, what year is this for your announcing?
For me, this is gonna be this is like my 4th or 5th year announcing the water ski stuff.
Right.
It took a long time for everybody to realize that that's what I grew up doing. But announcing on the wakeboard side of the Masters since 2006, so 12 years under my belt here at the Masters, and before that I had another 2 years over there at the ambush tent selling water skis for HO and wakeboards for Hyperlight, and you know, I've had a lot of fun out here at the Masters, and definitely the one event I most look forward to each and every season.
Well, and it's beautiful weather again here at Callaway, and if you have never been here and you're tuning in on the webcast, put this in your Memorial Day plans next year for sure, 2018. But the reason I asked, you've been coming here a long time, and they're doing so many things around Callaway. I mean, we've seen some clearing of the trees so we get a nice view from the lodge over at the Mountain Creek Inn, doing some renovations there. There is a lot going on here at Callaway, and every year just keeps getting better and better and better.
Well, yeah, you know, you and I are up here in the announcer's tower, so unfortunately we don't get to fully enjoy the gardens as much as we'd like to. But last year, I ended up staying 1 extra day because I said enough of that. I had a chance to go check out all the gardens, and probably my standout moment of last year, I went on the treetop adventure with my girlfriend Jane and the crew from CDEC Marine Products. We had an awesome time. We had such a good time that we booked another treetop adventure for this year on Monday. I'm not going to tell the paparazzi what time we're going to be out there, but 10 a.m. seems to be like a lot of fun usually for us. So if you guys have never done it, make sure you guys get over to that Discovery Center, sign up. The Treetop Adventure is always a blast. And you know, if you're a youngster under 60 inches tall, they have the Saplings Adventure for those guys and gals as well. But right now, let's get back onto the water. Here she is, the Latin American champion. This is Luisa Charmirio.
All right, coming in and around number 2, and this looks like another 22 off. So the strategy here, I think, building into that 12-meter line, she makes her way around number 5 and over to 6. Dano, it was really interesting. So Luisa is a twin, and we got to see her brother Federico earlier, only 14 years of age. Now, really impressive here, 14 years of age competing in the slalom event, and you take a look at the credentials, already breaking loose into that 10.75 meters, 39.5 off at the Latin American Championships, scoring that half buoy at 39 already in 2016. So, I mean, you know, a year ago being 13, already into 39.5 off. The crazy scores, Dano.
Well, I think it has something to do with the flat, perfectly shaped wakes behind the Nautique 200, and of course the zero-off speed control. The level of skiing has become just so much more consistent, and the age bracket, you know, normally, you know, you look back through the record books, and, you know, skiers were like a fine wine, always getting better with age. And now you are looking at some of these youngsters under that age of 14 who are challenging some of the biggest names in the world. And that's across the board, jump, slalom, and trick. I don't know that I've seen anything like it since the likes of Chris Parrish back in the mid-90s.
Ooh, yeah, taking us back there down memory lane. And here it is, 28 off for Luisa behind that Nautique 200. Over to number 4 and dialing things in here in the semifinal round. Again, that boat traveling a constant speed of 34 miles an hour. That's 28 off of a 75-foot rope. making short work of it there. And Dano, you talked about that. You know, there's been some posts on social media this week. I feel like social media really building into the moment here in this 2017 Masters. We went back, the likes of Chris Parrish, you mentioned Marcus Brown, all of these guys competing here at the Masters, and then, you know, basically graduating into the senior, the elite ranks, if you will, of water skiing. This is the next generation.
Absolutely, and you know those pros are here watching as well, seeing who's on their heels, and of course just developing and growing the sport continuously year after year. It's always a beautiful thing. I want to remind you guys the official rope supplier of the Masters and for the Big Dog World Tour is Masterline. For a full outline of products, check out masterlineusa.com or scope out their booth here on site. Russell and the crew always here with us at the Masters. So much going on down there at Vendors Row. Of course, you guys can check it all out online as well. Pass number 3, Luisa Chamillo on the water. Here we go.
And making her way around number 1. Excellent start here at 32 off. And 3 ball, look at this, dialed in. Switches that edge to slow down off the second wake so nicely. And there it is, Dano. And you look at that, 32 off, she's looking better and better and better as the rope gets shorter.
And I got to ask you, what is it about that? It's something that I've noticed in slalom skiing over the years. You know, obviously a lot of these skiers elect to take the longer line passes just to warm up, and sometimes I wonder if that is a smart move or a not so smart move, because for a lot of these skiers, it almost seems as if as they get shorter, they are able to perform that much better.
Well, these high-performance skis are really meant for short line. It's really a totally different way of skiing because, hey, I want to start at 22 off even though I can get into 39 off. You're really saying, I just want to fill out the water. With that being said, Dano, these skis are built to be on a hard edge, and sometimes when we get the rope a little bit shorter, you can see it's like, wow, they're really finding their groove, they're finding their rhythm. So here, you know, this 35 could look a lot easier than 32 because she's going to be really carving and setting a hard edge into the turn.
Well, across the board, when it comes down to it, it's all about being a patient skier out there. The technique, taking in everything that you and your coach have worked on over the past year and putting it all out there on the water. 35 off. Luisa Chamillo on the water around buoy number 1. Big pull as she moves over to number 2. Around number 2. Can she make it around number 3? She does. Nice recovery over to number 4. Hopping out of number 4. Around number 5. And gets that ski turned back around. Gets to the wake. Unofficially, we're going to call it 4.5 buoys at 35 off. We'll wait for the official word right there. But, man, watching that instant replay as she hopped out at buoy number 4, she just, you know, almost as she comes around that buoy, she took a couple of feet and just ollied up and over. I mean, it was like her ski was out of the water at least 1.5 feet right there.
Yeah, you take a look at the fin, almost get a snapshot of the fin getting displaced in the water, but great patience around number 4. I really like the strategy of just bringing it down the lake, and she went for a hard turn. She had to have it at number 5. Unfortunately, went down. But that is going to put her officially in the second position with 4.5 at 35 off. So still, Alejandra Diazma, our first skier of the day, like I said, Dano, that's an impressive score. 1.5 at 38 is the leader to chase.
All right, well, excited about this next skier, 15 years old, out of Winter Garden, Florida, doing it for Nautique Boats. She is traditionally recognized as, well, the trick skier. One of the most premier female trick skiers of all time. On the water, runs in the blood. Neely Ross out here, 15 years old. We're going to see her in a trick, I believe, in the pro division later on this weekend. But here we are on the water, slalom. Just like her father, the legendary Drew Ross. Nice, tall build out there on the water. Super fluid, super smooth on this first pass. This is just a warm-up from Neely, but right there, just a photographer's dream right there. That would have easily, Eric Steiner probably easily just got 5 shots for the next issue of Water Ski Mag.
Well, taking a look at replay here, Dano, this is incredible skiing. I mean, this is absolutely textbook, because what you're going to see is you're going to see this beautiful counter rotation. And what we mean by that is that release off to the second wing as you see almost the skier give a glimpse of their upper body and their hips to the audience, and then they just drop back in on it. It's just like being almost in this rhythm, back and forth, and Neely Ross finding it right there, pass number 1. These are really warm-up passes. I mean, again, to your point, Dano, the 28 off pass, Neely's run this a million times, going to be coming back at 32.
Well, you know, watching Neely ski, that's how I envision myself looking when I'm behind the boat. But trust me, it's nowhere near as close, man. Picture perfect run right there. We're shortening it up here. That was 28 off. We're down to 32 off right here. So Neely electing to start a little bit shorter than some of the rest of the field. We're going to see what she can do right here, right now. Let's check it out. Back to you, Tyler.
All right, so take a look at this counter rotation into 1. Beautifully performed as she just drops back in on that boat. That line nice and tight. She knows exactly where she is out of the finish at the turn, making her way around number 5. Short and easy work of 32 off. And Dano, she came off at that 28 off line length. That means she's going to be coming on her third pass, 35 off, setting herself up hopefully to throw down the 11.25 meter 38 off. And we should touch on that a little bit, because after 35, the rope no longer reaches the buoy. And Dano, they're going to have to use all of their length and stretch to get outside that buoy. So important, though, to keep that rhythm, because that boat doesn't give up. It travels a constant speed of 34 miles an hour.
Well, absolutely. We're going to see it happen right here, right now. Neely Ross, 35 off that 75-foot line length. She's about 40 feet behind the boat. That's a whole heck of a lot closer than you really think it is. And I'll tell you what, these guys, these gals, making these passes look so much more easy than they are. But as far as it goes, you know, it's not about the ease, it's about the fun. And honestly, you know, as an amateur skier myself, you know, I love to get out there, mimic what I see from these guys. Of course, it speeds about 6 to 8 miles an hour, less than what they're doing. But it just goes to show how difficult it truly is. Here she is, pass number 3. Neely Ross on the water, 35 off, around number 1, over to number 2. Big pull at 2, looking smooth into number 3, early at 3, over to number 4. Through a little bit of the rough stuff right there, back to the smooth stuff, into 5, big pull into 6. Another smooth pass right there with a big pull out of the 6 ball from Neely Ross. Break it down, Tyler Boyd. What's your thoughts?
Well, just sitting here in amazement. I mean, there's really nothing to say. There's nothing to coach. There's nothing to really even say. I mean, 35 off, so easy. And Dano, I think back in 2016, we were up here, and some of the scores that we witnessed in the junior competition would have qualified on Saturday in the elite ranks. So Neely Ross, no question about it, 35 off, cakewalk. Let's see what happens. Now, the rope doesn't reach the buoys here. If she can knock this thing down, we're going to have to get into the course records here, because I think we have a long-standing course record, and I'm going to double check on that.
All right, well, we're going to get her back through. She's got the length, no doubt about it. Neely Ross getting ready to get back up and come through. Looking for a major finish here. She took first place in trick at the Junior Moomba Masters earlier this year. She is in fuego. She is on fire. We'll see what she can do. She's a Canadian Girls 1 slalom record holder as well. 38 off. Guys, let's check it out. Tyler Boyd, call it down the line.
Oh, and went too heavy on number 1. You could see the water breaking near the tip of the ski, so going down unofficially a half buoy right there. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Neely Ross, your 3rd seed, which means, Dano, that Alejandra Diazma with that 1 1/2 at 38 looks like she's punched her ticket into the next round, your first skier out in the semifinals.
All right, so we are down to the final 2 skiers of the heat. This next skier already warmed up. You saw her out on the water in the trick final, where she ended up in second place just roughly about 45 minutes ago. She's riding that Radar Vapor ski, doing it for the Nautique brand, of course, for the Rini Ski School down there in Orlando, Florida, looking for that overall here. In 2016, she scored 2 buoys at 38 off right here at the Masters, but she has a personal best of a half buoy at 39 off. We're gonna see what she can do here. She's the 2016 Junior U.S. Open champion with a score posted of 4 buoys at 38 off. No doubt one of the strongest and more specialized slalom skiers in the world, 17 years old. This is Paige Rini coming up on the water next. I'm excited to see what Paige is going to do right here. She had a fantastic ride in the trick division a little bit earlier. She's ready. She is conditioned. She's got her eyes on the prize. We're starting her off at 32 off, so starting a little bit shorter than most of the other girls out there. Let's see what she can do, Tyler.
All right, let's see what Paige can do. Around number 1, over to number 2. Strong turns, great pulling position, and taking a look at that yellow flag there, Dano, it looks like it's 28 off, so we'll get confirmation. But again, easy work. You take a look at 2016. Last year's Masters scored 2 buoys at 38 off for the second place position. If she can do that here in this semifinal, Dano, she'll have the top spot thus far with 1 skier remaining on the dock to go into the final round of competition. You're not going to want to go anywhere. And ladies and gentlemen, preceding this event, we're going to go into the junior men's slalom, and then we're going to crown some champions. So you're not going to want to miss the action. Here we go, Dano. I mean, we're getting in the thick of it.
Absolutely, and day number 1, the Junior Masters out there. Do you want to send a shout out to the official graphics supplier, Universal Products, proud sponsor of the Nautique, and Nautique-sponsored events such as the Masters, the Big Dog World Tour. Universal Products provides creative design and has manufactured all Nautique graphic products since 1995, including Hall graphics, 3D rigid multicolored textured badging, logos, and designators. Universal Products proud to meet the universal graphic needs of Nautique boats. Go down to the Nautique tent and check it out.
Oh, yeah. All right, Paige Rini coming back in, 32 off the tow line. And in the course behind that Nautique 200, look at the width, and then right on the backside of the buoy, just clipping it, making it look so easy. Coming into a little bit of wind on number 4, and there it is, 32 off. And you can see, Dano, that counter rotation, you almost see her swing out and hit the apex, and then right at the apex of the turn, the buoy comes up, and then it disappears as she clips the backside of the buoy.
Well, it's always interesting to see the different styles that these skiers bring to the water here at Robin Lake and just about any event out there. And of course, it comes down to the equipment as well. And you know, Paige was a huge part in the development of that Radar Vapor ski right there, and you can see it definitely complements her style out there on the water. I am very excited as we shorten that lineup. 35 off coming up next, getting all 6 buoys there at 32 off. One of the strongest, most in control young skiers out there. Really enjoy watching her out there on the water, and of course her posts through social media at Paige Rini, you know, loves the lake life. This is a girl who goes out and she trains at traditional water ski, but you'll find her out there on a Sunday fun day, riding out there, having some fun out the disc, or maybe on the wakeboard, doing a little wake surfing. Let's check this out right here. 35 off, Paige Rini, pass 3. Let's do it.
And the wind is kicked up slightly here at 35. Look at the angle out of number 1. Calms things down around number 2. Great turn at number 3. Over to number 4. And surviving that 35 off, Dano, she was not playing around on number 1. I mean, that ski came around almost into a 90-degree turn. She was able to set back in, and look at this, just driving the tail of that ski around at number 1. Now she knows the lead's 1.5 at 38. Right behind that is a half buoy. So 2 buoys is going to punch her ticket in, no doubt about it, but she wants that top spot. She wants to be the top seed with one remaining skier, Jamie Bull, left on the dock.
Well, absolutely. The advantage, of course, Paige Rini has. She's been in this position before, of course, as we mentioned last year, finishing second spot with 2 buoys at 38 off. That rope handle, it's going to be about a half foot inside the buoy line right here at 38 up, which means it is time to stretch, reach for the victory out there on the water. Paige Rini linking it up. We do know this new equipment, these skis that these athletes are riding out here, you know, the shorter the line length, the faster the boat speeds, the better that these skis are going to perform out there. Paige Rini knows what she needs to do. She's been here before. Can she? Will she? Let's find out. She takes that wide check cut outside. As the boat comes through those start gates, Paige right behind it, right around number 1, big pull at 1, her home boat, the Nautique 200, around number 2, and back through those gates. So an unofficial word of 2 buoys at 38 off, so matching her finish from 2016 out there, and unofficially,
I believe.
Punching that ticket.
Yeah, she 2 buoys there. There it is, officially, Dano. 2 buoys at 38 off, running total 56 buoys. So Paige Rini and looks like Alejandra are into the next round. Right on the bubble right now, Neely Ross with a half buoy at 38, and the top seed here is getting set and ready.
That's right, your junior world champion coming up next. It's going to be Jamie Bull. As we get ready to get her on the water, I do want to let you guys know we've got our friends at D3 Skis in the house. D3 Custom Water Skis celebrates its 15th year designing and producing the world record-breaking skis. Since its inception, D3 is focused exclusively on 3-event water skiing. The Masters, the most prestigious water ski event of the season, and D3 is proud to support the best skiers in the world by producing the best ski products in the world as well. Take the D3 Slalom Challenge, demo a new ARC or Quest 45 Factory Direct this season. Experience for yourself D3's world record-breaking performances. Please visit their booth here on site or online at d3skis.com. Here she is, Jamie Bull.
All right, your top seed here in the women's slalom event. And Jamie Bull, 28 off of that standard 75-foot tow line. She knows she needs to secure 1 buoy at 38 off to get into the final round of competition. Short work there of 28 off. Jamie Bull, 2016 junior world champion, scoring at that tournament 4 at 38 off, 11.25 meters, and has a personal best, look at this, Dano, of 2 at 39.
Well, absolutely. You know, the young lady, definitely a slalom ski specialist out there. But when she's not on the water, she's cross-training, mountain biking, volleyball, basketball, snow skiing. She's Canadian. She plays some hockey as well. And, you know, it's all about the fitness. It's all about staying in shape. I'll tell you what, man, I get through 3 passes out on that slalom course, and I almost need an oxygen machine. These skiers are looking to take at least 6 passes if all things go right here today. Jamie Bull starting things off. We're going to shorten that line up to 32 off, taking 4 feet off of that rope, putting her at 32 off of the 75-foot line length. The young Canadian getting ready to rip down the line for her second pass. So strong. Let's see what she can do. Back to you, Tyler.
All right, so Jamie Bull getting ready for pass number 2. She has a slight textured headwind. Let's see what she can do as she gets locked and ready on this gate pull-out. So important to drop in and get a good number 1. Jamie Bull does just that on this pass around number 2. Great turn out of 2. She's looking dialed in as she travels into number 4. Nice and close to the hip with the handle around each buoy. I got to tell you, Dano, Jamie Bull looking very consistent on the first and second passes here. Now she's going to have that slight texture 35 off that shouldn't cause her any problems. If she can clear that, all she needs to do is go secure 1 full buoy to get into the next round.
Well, the junior world champion is on the water right now, the top seed in the semifinal round. I got to give it to her another advantage that I have to say, being as though I grew up water skiing up in the Midwest, up there in the north in Wisconsin. The fact that she skis in the cold Canadian weather, you know, she's out there. She tries to ski at least, you know, 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 months a year in Canada.
And, you know, up where she's from, I've heard word that the ice gets to be about 4 feet deep out there. I don't know, there's something about cold water skiers that always seems to stand out above some of the rest of the competition.
Well, when you're skiing in those types of conditions, you got to make every set count. I mean, there's no wasting time because you get a short window each year that you get good training. And that's probably one of the reasons why she's made her way down to Jack Travers Ski School to get some of that training that she can't do in Canada. 35 off here. Jamie Bull, your top seed here in the semifinal. Big turn at number 1, a lot of angle. So here comes Jamie into number 3, getting a tremendous offside turn as she travels into number 5. Look at that hookup on that 1-3-5, Dano. That ski is aiming directly across the course, which is putting herself in really good position. Now, 38 off, what do? Do you qualify? Do you try to just, get enough to get into the next round? Or do you try to take it down the line to kind of throw out, a little disclaimer into the next round of, hey, I can take down this 38 off?
If she can get a half buoy past, even a quarter buoy past to right here at this line length of 38 off, she will ensure the top seed moving in to the final. But it all comes down to this right now. As it sets, our current leader, Paige Rini with 2 buoys at 38 off. Right behind her, Alejandra de Osma with 1.5 at 38 off. And on that bubble with a half a buoy at 38 off is Neely Ross. So once again, Jamie Bull knows what she needs to do. What she's going to do right here, is she going to just go for that half buoy, keep it safe, play it smart, or is she going to go out there and put it all on the line? I mean, it is the Junior Masters here. My guess, she's going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. Jamie Bull needs 1 full buoy to punch her ticket into the next round. Here she goes. She is a round 1. That is going to go into the next round. Look at this start, Dano. Round number 2 into number 3. Can she turn number 3 and get outside of 4? And just inside 4, you can see the potential. You can see the reason why that she can get into that 39.5 meter line, or 39 off, excuse me. Look at that. Around 1, tremendous angle. Dano, if the conditions stay the way they are into this next round, she might clear this 11.25 meters.
Well, watching that run right there as she got around that first buoy and right back into the wake, at that moment she already knew she had punched her ticket into the final round of action. Everything above and beyond that was literally mashed potatoes and gravy, just a little extra nice treat. And, officially, we do have a leader out there, and it looks like Jamie Bull is going to be last off the dock in the final round of action coming up later. So as it sets, our top 3 into that final, Jamie Bull, Paige Rini, and Alejandra de Osma from Peru. Congratulations, ladies. What do you guys think, Pavilion? You guys having some fun so far? Let me hear you guys make some noise out there. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Wait a minute. Is this the Masters of Golf or the Masters of Water Ski and Wakeboard? Come on, people. If we're going to get loud and proud, Tyler and myself all day.